There we go. Audio on. Microphone on. Roll 20. Slightly messing up my background. Yeah. Ready Yeti. We're doing it, guys. We're doing it. So, hey, howdy, everybody. What's going on? Nope, don't want
Hi.
that. How are you? How's life? How's it going? Are we ready, Yeti? There we go. Moving that down slightly. There we go. I think I solved the problem.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. I just made a little bit of mess on the overlay. It's fine. Hello, everybody. We're here. We're live. We are, as Will said earlier, Ready Yeti, which is now stuck in my head.
Ready,
and
Yeti.
We'll probably be said a lot this stream. So,
It's my fault.
yeah, right? Well, why Ready Yeti, though? That's a great question.
Why?
Yeah.
Because duck.
Because
Well, that's another game. Ducks is another game.
that's true.
Oh, that's right. I heard about the ducks. Yes, there's a whole thing.
Tune in on Wednesday for Fury Brick Road, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Duck fights, duck fights, duck fights.
But no, I agree with Will. Like, duck, roll, go away.
When we last left our heroes, they were navigating.
In the middle of the battle.
Actually, I, as promised, can show you the map now.
What?
Yeah. So, we left our. I put everyone in the right box. I did it. Yeah. We left our brave heroes in the peninsula, right? They landed in Hela on the far western side of the Icelandic peninsula, where they met a guide named Gunhildr, or Gunny for short, who's been who basically got 2 trucks and supplies, everything the heroes needed, and started driving them north on this red road around the large volcano, right? Because it is very active and the situation is very dangerous. So bypassing the area where some seismic activity and some lava flows already caused damage was the priority. In doing so, the characters got to talk a little bit and learn a bit about themselves. Professor Infinus taught Wendy some magic, and Kelly was trying to figure out where the gym was in Reykjavik or in the area, and so making some good connections. When a massive boulder crashed onto the road in front of the first vehicle, and unfortunately, Gunny was not fast enough, and the car slammed into it at a rather upsetting speed, right? So, the first group managed to shake it off real quick, get out of the car and assess the damage. Second group, Wendy, with her very keen reflexes, drifted her truck to a stop without causing damage, and began kind of running some medical aid. And while all that was happening, Kelly saw it. I'll go back to our regular view. Kelly saw this shadow kind of fall over the group, and this rather large boulder from this rather large troll, yeti, large mountainous thing came flying towards the party. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, Kelly, so you see this before everybody else. I think you get like about a half a second of like, shit, before this happens.
Okay.
My question to you is this, right? This is a massive, like 5-6 foot in diameter boulder, right? Yeah. What do you do? Kind of got everyone congregating around. You have the one good truck. I've got everyone else being patched up. They don't see this. You see this thing just flying in. What's your move?
It's like direct path, right? Like gonna hit everyone.
There's a good chance that it's gonna land. If it doesn't land on somebody, it's gonna land real close and roll, and that's not gonna be great.
If I'm able to kind of eyeball where I think it's gonna hit, I'd like to try and tackle people out of the way.
Okay.
That's
Hell yeah. Roll me a.
I'm sweating already.
I think this is dexterity.
Yeah.
So, roll dexterity, and let's see where this takes us.
Okay.
Oh, good roll.
Oh,
Good
ow.
roll. Good roll.
I needed that. My
Yeah.
hands are sweaty.
Damn.
It's good. You had a good warm-up roll earlier. You had a good roll now. So.
Yeah, true. The first roll I did was 69, so it was meant to be.
Yep.
Nice.
Just priming the pump.
Beautiful. You track this boulder. You can clearly see it's going to land the back area of the crashed truck, where currently Gunny and Oliver are getting. Oliver's helping Gunny get patched up. You manage to grab the two of them and just leap off to the side of the road where you are pretty sure there's safety, right? What do you yell? What do you do as you do this?
Just get down. Get down in my best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, even though he wasn't real at this point, maybe.
Definitely not born yet, but that's okay.
It's fine.
Get to the chopper! What's a chopper? What's going on here? Yeah, you dive, you grab Oliver and Gunny, and Oliver, you're just taken off your feet by Kelly. 1 second, you're
time.
like, yeah, you're like wrapping a bandage around Gunny's arm. Next, like, he literally just picks you up in one arm and dives. You hit the ground. It's cold, wet, slush mud. About a half second after that, you see and hear the boulder just over your head and slam into this truck where you were sitting about a half a second ago. Just crush the entire trunk, right? One of the tires like just pops. The rear suspension just snaps as the truck just like kind of falls down sadly onto this road area and is like very clearly tilted at an angle where it's, Wendy, you know, it's not drivable. Not without some serious mechanical repair. But speaking of Wendy and Cecil, this rock hits, right? And you guys are close by. Roll dodge for me, please. As, like,
Got it.
parts start flying off the truck, the boulder continues to roll past, and hopefully not at you. Doesn't catch you in the process.
Oh, we're both purple.
Oh, God!
Who is who?
I haven't rolled yet.
Oh,
Joe,
I rolled too many.
Let's say, Joe, you rolled 103.
That's fine.
I rolled. You know what? It looks like I won. So let me just re-roll again. Let me re-roll again.
Okay, well, that passes for me.
Good stuff.
I think you know what? The higher the number, the
That's
better it is.
In
not
fact,
great.
I actually think that's a great success for me. Yeah, it's a great success.
cool. Yeah, Wendy, I think you just dropped to the ground just to get out of the path of this like literal bouncing boulder. Cecil, you follow Wendy's lead because you see this thing just land and crush the car, and you realize like what's happening. It's not quite fast enough. Not bad.
I realize I'm wearing my good shoes, and I decide to skip over a puddle. Little do I know that's actually just ice and slush.
Yeah,
So
little sliding. It just barely catches you. So you take a point of damage. Nothing huge, right?
I'll take that.
That could have been a lot worse. Like where you were a second ago probably would have just crushed your chest, but you moved. You got real lucky there.
Oof.
So, with that said, you all now hear
Oof.
the roar of this large troll, standing on kind of the top of the ridge line, about 50, maybe 80 meters up. Right, it's huge though. It's easily like 10, 12 feet tall, so you still have good line of sight on this thing. And it's a giant monstrosity. It's huge, it's white, it's got just insane yellow teeth, massive arms, and it rips another chunk just out of the ridgeline and sets like it's about to start rolling this thing down the mountain. Make a sanity check and then we'll get into it.
Okay, sanity. Don't fail me now.
I'll roll for Gunny as well. She's so upset. She loves trolls.
Damn.
Good roll. Oh, not so good. Let's see. Thunk.
Made it under my sanity.
Did Gunny make it?
That is
She made it.
1 under my sanity.
There you go.
Well done.
All right. If you succeeded, you take 1 point of sanity damage.
Okay.
So.
Come on, I got a 5.
You got a 5? Oh, is that an excellent success?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. You'll be fine. So.
Oliver looks up at this thing and just goes,
I've seen you in books before.
yeah, basically like, yeah, I think I've read about these. Where's my pain whip?
Good move.
That's right, you have that.
With that, so nobody failed? Damn. Yeah, none of you failed. Wow.
How's Gunny doing?
She actually made it directly on the number. So I rolled a 48 and her sanity's 48. So
Nice.
meets beats. So a little shaken, but good. Wendy, you're up first. We're gonna go into initiative now, right? So you're on this road. You've got this nice incline to one side. You've got a bit of a drop off to the other. You can see that boulder just kind of rolled and is now continuing to roll down this mountainous terrain. The truck in front, like I said, is smashed in the rear. There's a bunch of supplies that are like kind of poking out one side. The trunk's flattened. The tire's busted. The truck that you were in is kind of parked at a 45 degree as you skidded to a stop, but is entirely usable. Unfortunately, the road is too small for you to try to bypass. You'd have to do something about the truck in front of you before you keep driving.
And that's assuming that it doesn't get crushed by a boulder. Okay.
Correct. But you're up. And as this troll is like literally dislodging another just hunk of this ridgeline.
Okay. So the side with the incline down, do we have any like boulders that have lodged there, either from the troll or not, that are like sort of cover? And that so if a boulder hits, it's at least going to bounce over.
Yeah, you've got a little bit of just I don't want to say rocky terrain, right? So there's enough that you can try to situate yourself in a good place to have some cover. Same thing for the downward slope as well. You can venture slightly down the incline. There's a drop off about 15 feet down.
I just want to be behind something slightly taller and on the incline side so that I'm not going to slide down. Or like too far in to not be able to do anything. So I'm going to grab Cecil's shoulder and shove him ahead of me, behind either over or behind some of these rocks, right as it heads to incline. So road, rocks, incline down, shove him right next to the rocks for cover, and then do a nice little fence hop over top myself so I can get in position to try and shoot, I guess, at this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you shoot?
I have a rifle with me.
Get it.
Okay. It's 2d6, yeah?
Yep.
2d6.
So, now luckily it is...
2d6 plus 2. But
D100 to try to hit first.
Oh, sorry. All right. Damn it.
So,
okay, fine.
We can keep that roll.
Can't
Keep
just
that
roll
roll.
damage?
So, good roll for damage.
All right. I'm good, which is why I'm sad, because 89 is not. That's not. No. I'm not gonna hit with that.
Yeah, you move, Cecil. You slide into cover. You pull out your rifle. You take a shot up the mountain. You're pretty sure you connected.
Oh, okay.
But didn't seem to phase it.
No, great.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that was a warning. That was a warning.
Cecil.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're down behind cover with Wendy. The shot just rings out. You have a chance to kind of observe. You see it actually hit the troll's shoulder and just like ricochet off. Not sure what that means.
Lass, you have anything stronger than those bullets you're shooting?
Wendy's like gonna look down at her wrist because that's the default. But do we in the car we brought ordnance of some variety, didn't we?
There's a lot of ordnance actually. There are rifles and pistols. There's also because Gunny was prepared for possible terrain damage or like landslides. There's dynamite.
Yeah.
So there is a box. There's one in each car, just with a like little wooden crate labeled like caution or danger explosive.
TNT. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were there when it got loaded. You know that you can pull like an individual strand and light that thing and chuck it, or you can wire them all together to a plunger. That obviously will take a lot longer.
How far away is this good fellow?
Oh no,
He said like 80 meters up the ridge.
Oh yeah, he's up there.
I can't toss that far.
You would have to lure him down or do something, but yeah.
All right. Cecil is just gonna. You know what? What is the range on these fire bracelets, by the way?
Pretty damn far.
Pretty darn far.
Yeah.
So Cecil is like, and like, he looks at the explosives and he's like, "It's a possibility, right?"
Mm-hmm. But I don't want to. Not the car. We don't want to blow up the car. And I don't want to use all of them because what happens if there's more than one? I mean, if we could lure it onto the, I don't know.
Or the professor could chuck one.
Yeah.
Cover me.
There's traffic on this
I feel
road.
like Wendy would have been like, do we want you to do this or do we want me to do this? Like to go get the dynamite. Like
He made a choice. So he
Go for it.
aims over kind of like shakes his wrist, like pulls up a sleeve and like aims the fire bracelet like over. And thanks to a very interesting ritual done by a friend, I have advantage on aiming these now. So
You do.
nice.
Get it.
now I can roll 2.
Yeah. So. Oh, it may not. Oh. What?
Oh dear, it's doing that
One
again.
of them is a 5? Wait, no, that's wrong. Where is it?
It's a 36 and a 69. So go with the 36.
Oh, okay, that's why. Well, let me see. Let me get that.
Good roll.
For fire bracelet. Unfortunately, both of those are over my 20%. So
Oh no. Wow.
yeah, I think unless I didn't update it, no, that's still 20. All right.
Still 20. Okay. Yeah, you launch a rather large fireball up this mountain towards this troll, who is startled by it. Like you can see, there's a moment where like it just screams back at you, because you can smell like burning hair and flesh as it like flies by it, but doesn't connect. And I think this is where. Oh boy. Okay. 200. There we go. And it turns and it just lobs that boulder in your direction that it had been working up. It just puts it up over its head, does like a sweet, good form overhead press, and then just yeets it down the mountain at you.
Yeah, we're gonna tug Cecil down again.
Alrighty. Do me a favor and throw dodge at a great success, please.
I can.
As you see this large boulder's getting larger and larger and larger, coming directly towards you.
Yikes.
That is not a great success. No, that's a fail.
I don't think that's it. So wait a second. Oh, actually, it's no, it's a regular success.
Dog.
Hi, Puffy.
See?
Hi, Daisy.
Daisy decided to say hi. Peach is down here too, but she is being picked up. So, so that's a fail, unfortunately.
For me, it was yours was a regular success, but we were both going for great.
Yeah.
So I think that's
okay. Cool. Wendy, unfortunately, gonna take full damage from this one.
It's like there's a pattern when we have these things.
This one's high. All right, that one's a 9.
Okay.
And then Cecil, you'll take 1 die less since you did partially dodge. Which is an 8. Sorry. As this boulder just slams into your area, damages the front of the truck as well, and just hits both of you, like just through the flying debris and rocks. This is like bruised, battered, and not quite crushed, but you're gonna have like some serious issues from the bludgeoning that you're taking from these rocks.
How much was mine? I missed that. Sorry.
Yours was 8. So I was 1 die less. So
Appreciate that.
sorry.
Every little bit counts.
Yeah. With that said, Kelly, you're up.
Man.
Sorry. The other thing the troll starts to do is it does start working its way down the ridge line, in like a weird, forward-leaned, like or sideways kind of gallop, like four-limbed gallop. As it's like running down at a 45.
How far away is he?
It's getting closer. It was about 80 meters away. Now that he's like running down the ledge, closer to 50. We'll probably get down to the party at the end of the next turn, maybe, unless it does something wildly unsafe and just jumps.
Okay. I want to intercept him as best I can.
Okay.
I don't know what the best way to do that would be. I don't really want to climb up the mountain. Like, I don't want to separate myself from the group. But, like, if I can anticipate, like, where he's going and try and
I think you can
get ahead of him.
I think you can absolutely ready an action.
Okay.
And when he gets close, you can act and just dive tackle him or do whatever you want to do.
Yes.
Very cool. So we'll say, I'll make a note of that. Okay. Very cool. Gunny. Get this rolling there. Ah, shit. All right. Gunny sees Kelly like getting amped up, and she's like, "All right, yeah." Turns, grabs the like smashed in latch at the trunk, and like just tries to yank it open, and is like, "All the guns are in the trunk. All the guns we have are in the trunk." Starts kicking it, and she can't get it open.
Can I retcon?
If you want to give her an assist, you can.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Go ahead and roll,
if possible.
Roll strength, please.
Okay.
As she's like just trying desperately to open this like badly warped trunk.
Oh my god.
How do you open it?
What with this? Okay, yeah, that's a great success. Or an excellent success, sorry.
Yeah, how do you open this trunk?
Pardon me, ma'am.
Hold on. Excuse me, little lady. And just I wanna I want to rip it off and then like bow with it, and then place it off to the side.
Grab the handle and like do the damage.
Yeah.
Just rip off a chunk of the trunk. It's like this large like 2x3 sheet of like shitty metal. You're like, all right, it's open. She like.
Go back to.
You really do work out. Grabs a rifle, cocks it, and just starts shooting up the mountain.
Let's go.
Her firearm is pretty good, actually, if I remember correctly.
What kind of gun is it?
It's a 308. 30-06. 308. Something different.
I asked that fully knowing I know dick all about guns, so.
Big rifle. Unfortunately, that is
Thank
not high
you.
enough for her. She does fire a couple rounds as well. It connects, and that's like cool. So they connect, but they don't seem to stop this thing or stagger it. She's like, and just scrounges in the trunk for more ammo. Cool. Oliver, you're up.
So Oliver's gonna get up and kind of dust himself off as best he can. Sort of looks at this thing, and he comes to the conclusion that it's moving in far too controlled a manner and wants to do something about that. So what's the ground it's on right now? Is
It's running
it
down this
relatively
like
solid rock, or is it like lichen and moss, or is it sort of scree? Like, what are we working with here?
you're working with like scatter rock basically. So it's nice rocky terrain, but there's all that loose pebbles and like very clearly large chunks of rock that with the right amount of weight or pressure could dislodge at any time. And it's like just running down this kind of terrain.
We're gonna try and rug pull this critter because it's just behaving in a very unfriendly manner, and it deserves to fall down a mountain and break itself.
Cool, get it. I assume you're using some magic.
Yeah, so we're gonna roll for telekinesis.
Cool. It will resist.
And so,
but it's maybe not this thing's best.
So 1 MP plus 1 per 30-foot distance. So that's probably gonna require like 5 MP to get up to this thing.
Yeah.
Which is okay. So let me just go back to that.
Okay. What level of success is that for you?
Let me see. 4. Where the hell is it? I'm like staring at my character sheet.
At your power at the top right.
Yeah. It's a regular success.
Okay. These things have a power of 45, so they're not exactly adept at resisting stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. So then
Meets beats for defense. So
it should be contesting versus strength, right?
Oh, you want to do okay. So you're doing the ground, or are you doing the?
Oh, I guess the ground is what's thing. It's not. As far as the creature's concerned, it should just suddenly not have ground to stand on.
I'm gonna re-roll that as Dex actually, because it's not resisting. Therefore, it doesn't need to roll power. So
right.
Its Dex is also not great, 40.
Oh, wait a second. I roll power at advantage too. Let me see if I can do better on that before you roll the other one.
Okay. Yeah, please do.
I always forget I have this. No, about the same.
Okay. It stumbles and staggers. It does not lose its footing completely. What it does do is have to slow down a little bit, which is actually good for Kelly, right? Because it's no longer coming at the speed of an oncoming train. It's more manageable. You could probably intercept it. But you see, like, you move a lot of the terrain, and it just stumbles, rolls, and then corrects and actually, like, digs a large arm into a rock, kind of, like, pivots a little bit, and then swings off it and keeps coming down the terrain.
Damn.
And just for sake of luck, right? Wendy.
Yeah.
What's going through your head right now? You see this troll like almost roll down the mountain and like catch itself at the last second, swing around. It's a lot bigger than you initially anticipated, right? Like, it was big on the ridge line. As it gets closer, it's really big.
So we've got the background stream of shit. And then she's thinking, okay, if we can stop it progressing down the hill, we can at least damage it before like Kelly has to come up against it. Because so I'm thinking we're gonna run for that dynamite and see if we can destroy part of this hill that isn't going to then rain down on us.
Okay. Oh, you want to make a controlled landslide on the troll?
Ideally above the troll, but if not, below it in such a way that it's like has to take a little bit longer getting down to us, and we've got time to shoot it.
I'm with it. Yeah, you run over to the trunk because your truck's not damaged. You can just pop the trunk. You move a couple coats out of the way, and there's that crate that says, danger, high explosives. Rip the top off, grab a stick of dynamite.
A stick? This is Wendy. We're like 4. We're grabbing 4.
Go with whatever god you choose. Yes. All right. Yeah, you grab a whole armful of dynamite. So I have this is very
not
important.
Not all, but like a healthy selection.
A healthy little bundle.
Yeah.
This is very important. So, dynamite in the book at a 95% or above when thrown has catastrophic results.
Yeah.
Because it is an explosive. So I'm just putting that out there now before we start rolling dice. Okay.
Okay.
But you grab 4 sticks of dynamite. What do you do?
This is how I feel for all of Wendy's actions, actually. But yes, that's fine.
It does a lot of damage.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna take one and like twist off some of the fuse. Mm-hmm. Looking at like how close it is to us now, and I'm going to position myself like closer to the damaged car was ahead of us, right? So that's like where we wanted to go, but we can't really drive there anyway. Yeah.
Now you could also blow the car off the road as a other alternative. Just spitballing here.
But it's not drivable past that really anyway, right? So like if we wanted to get out in a car, we'd be using the other one and going behind anyway.
The road is clear enough. You could clear the boulder. The issue is the car. If you wanted to escape, I'm just putting options out there.
Okay.
Since we're putting this as what do we call it? Theater of the mind. It's important to clarify details.
Yeah. So, but that's the car that has the rest of the dynamite in it.
It does have a whole other box. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So no, we're not going to do that. That's going to end badly.
Okay.
I've already lost 9 hit points. I don't think I have enough for this. Okay. So we're going to I'm going to go between the two trucks because there's space in between them.
Yep.
And like motion to both like get out of the center. And we're going to light the one and chuck it up the hill, like directly at, ideally directly above the troll.
Cool. Yeah, you light it. You're in position. Roll throw.
Okay.
Or this is just saying. I know you just had a little driver's ed course in telekinesis.
True.
I may send it through.
Throw with telekinetic powers.
Yeah, maybe actually. Okay, because
so
I
sketch.
I don't know if your throw is.
I mean, throw on its own for whatever reason isn't like it's not like dodge. It's not connected to your dex, so that is a like separate. So maybe telekinesis is not the most terrible idea. So because I don't have that on my sheet yet for
Okay.
the telekinesis. It's based on distance, and then
So it's based on distance. You're gonna roll power, and you're gonna take a D4 sanity as you use it. It would cost you 3 MP for it's about 90 feet
okay.
of distance to just yeet that thing.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna roll power, and the result is based on the success rate of the power roll.
Okay. I can do that. Okay.
So like where you want it and how effective it is. Right.
Okay.
Obviously, with a crit
power.
being like wherever you'd like to place it.
Yeah. All right. Got it.
So.
All right. And you said 4 sanity.
D4.
1d4.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll do the dis first.
You saw I rolled my 6 for my sanity.
God.
Oh,
Man.
holy
Well.
crap.
You can choose which nostril that stick of dynamite goes in.
Yeah.
Also, you level up.
Yay! Okay. Unsurprisingly, that was an extraordinary success. Delightful. Yeah. I don't know. The right side looks a little bit hairier than the other one. We'll help him out and put the dynamite there.
Yeah. Describe this. So you decide to telekinetically throw dynamite at this thing. Please describe it. This is wild.
So Wendy's gonna look at the stick of dynamite and flip it over her shoulder, overhand, and then close her eyes and do this, and be like, okay, if I think really hard about getting it right on its forehead, it can donk, right? And then flip because I wanted to hit above it, so boom, boom, and explode. So she's gonna be like, all right, hit the troll in the forehead and then above, hit the troll in the and yeah. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and the stick of dynamite that you just chuck out into the air just course corrects and then lands directly where you wanted to put it on the troll.
The 2 sanity damage is well earned, so yes.
Cool. The troll looks confused, getting bonked in the head with this bundle of dynamite, and then it explodes.
Yeah, right behind it on the hill. So hopefully, yeah.
How much resistance does this thing have? All right. There is a rather large explosion, right? Everyone just feels that concussion in their chest as this dynamite that is dangerously close to you explodes. Pebbles fly, large, debris just kind of flies around. Everyone's kind of behind cover, so...
sorry, not sorry!
What does hit is negligible, right? And in the cloud of dust and debris, you hear this troll continue to roar as it rolls out, now clearly just disoriented and hurt, as you're looking at chunks of this troll have been blown off. And now it's a little closer, you can see that some of its skin looks solid, and the chunks that were blown off have those solid ridgeline chunks, you're literally blowing out part of a cliff. It looks very badly
hurt. It's a rock
hurt.
troll.
It looks very badly hurt. Right. Damn. Good roll. Cecil. It's going through your head right now as this explosion hits. Debris, the dust, the roaring of this troll. It continues its charge down the hill.
Ugh. It's badly hurt.
Oh, yeah.
But it looks like it's damaged stone, basically. Got it. Cecil's pretty damaged himself. However, he is a folklorist. So he starts to kind of rack his brain to see if he can remember any troll weaknesses. If you throw salt at it, it can't. It has to recite the ABCs or something like that. It's folklore is weird.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that to see if I can't think of anything. Because while these bracers are really cool, I still can't quite use them accurately enough.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
All right. I think that would be. It's somewhere. What? Nope, I wrote it down somewhere, so I'll just chuck it in and look in a second.
While he's sort of shaking off the dust from the explosion, Oliver looks over at Wendy and just gives like a very solemn, sort of approving nod, like, "I see what you did there."
Yeah, like, I did it. Yeah.
Was that,
Also, crap.
That was a hell of a gamble. I'll tell you a story about this exact scenario and Dynamite after this session that did not go as well.
So I got great success.
Okay. Yeah, you rack your brain about troll knowledge. You know a couple things about them. They definitely don't like fire. It will scare them or enrage them, right? It is something that they are potentially weak to and afraid of.
Perfect.
They don't like sunlight. Some legends say they turn to stone. Other legends just say that it kind of weakens and disorients them. We described the weather coming in as like rainy overcast as you were moving into Iceland. So something to consider for the weather. They also hate the sound of bells, specifically church bells, like large voluminous bells, because according to folklore, it reminds them of like the thunder of Thor. Right.
Makes sense.
So those are all things that you can use to mess with them. Also, they track. This is another thing. They track by scent of blood, which is great for disorienting them if you had a plan to try to trick them or lure them away.
Great. So Cecil like turns around and he's just like, and he yells at everybody. He's like, first off, great job, Wendy. They don't like fire. Also sunlight, but I don't know if you can part the clouds quite yet. And if we know of any nearby church bells, ringing that will do quite a bit of damage to him, or at least make him run away.
There's a possibility that just large, sharp noises could mess with them, like car horns as well.
Cool. Racking my brain, did that use up my round, or?
No. Yeah, it's some time to think.
Alrighty. So, do these Jeeps have horns in them?
They do.
All right. So he's like, so I'm gonna do the next best thing, and he like kind of like runs very carefully around where he tripped before, and then like tries to get his hand into one of the Jeeps that like has access to the actual steering wheel.
Yeah. So for this, roll luck. We'll see if this actually works. But
so.
Yeah, you reach in, you rip the door open, you press on the horn, it blares loudly.
I rolled under. That's damn. Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm going to roll con for this troll. I'll never set a different number to roll. That is not con for this troll. I'm going to say... Well, you just re-rolled. It worked. That's the important part. It slows its run. At this point, like, it was blown up. It staggered back to its feet. It started trying to run again, and you just lean on the car horn, and it clutches its ears, and just screams in your direction. It actually does chuck, like, with a flick of a wrist, just grabs, like, a large chunk of rock in your direction for its turn.
I'm behind a truck.
So, and then it'll be Kelly, which I'm giving it only half of a turn to react. And it just sails past you, right? It's close, but it seems very clear this way. And Kelly, this troll went from a just raging freight train to kind of staggering, and is now within like a short dash of you down this terrain. You notice a couple things since you're really, really close.
Yeah.
One, it's definitely partially made of rock.
Okay.
Like there are chunks of like bloody matted fur, and there are chunks of like rock like blowing out of its shoulder. That not sure what to do with that, right?
Right.
There's also a large, looks like metallic, dark metallic collar around its neck. That seems odd, but
Like a solid piece of metal or like a chain?
like a solid piece of metal, like one of those old school, like has a joint somewhere and is clamped on looking collars. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it just hurls this rock at Cecil. It misses him by like a couple inches, and it turns and like it seems to be looking around. You can see like a little bit of blood coming out of its ears, or where its ears are, maybe in its head. What do you do?
I'm gonna close the distance and I'm gonna punch.
Get it.
Continue to lean on the horn.
I'll say take advantage because it is not in a great place right now. It's got like one hand over its ears, trying to like block out the sound of that noise.
I don't have to do anything for these ignore armor punchy gloves, right?
You just burn an MP.
That's right.
So,
How much do I burn? I
that
haven't written it down.
Is an excellent question. Let me pull it up.
Should put that in the ammo slot.
You burned 1 MP.
Okay.
So.
I'm gonna do those.
Cool.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll be able to punch rock. Maybe it won't hurt my fist so bad. We'll find out.
I don't think you've done this before. What does it look like?
What does it look like? When activating these boxing gloves that Kelly has, it almost seems like they're vibrating. Like, to human eyes, they just kind of like look almost like blurred a little bit. This isn't a John Cena reference, though I'm not ashamed that it's very close to a John Cena reference.
It's like a vibro blade, right?
Basically, yeah. And they just vibrate, and kind of almost look like they glow a little hot, like how metal gets a little red under heat.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like grows that little bit of heat.
Okay. Very cool. Go ahead and wind up and.
I'm gonna roll to hit.
And you have advantage, so please roll twice. As you just like.
Oh, okay.
The thing with John Cena is like if he was here with us right now, we'd never know it. That's crazy.
I haven't played this character in a minute. Let me figure out what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Fighting brawl. Okay,
Fighting
I'm
brawl.
like, I know it's not just strength. Okay, here we go.
Just like last session, we tagged Brendan Lee Mulligan. This session, if you just want to tag John Cena on Twitter and yell, "You got a 5?"
I got a 5 in there, baby.
My God!
I go with that was actually channeling. Yeah.
Woo!
And then the troll was killed.
Yeah.
Is that a crit? Does that exist in this system?
That is a crit. What is your what's your unarmed damage? It's D6, I think.
So yeah, with these, it ignores armor 1d6 plus 1d4 plus 1.
Yeah. So, you would do max damage. So you would do 1d6 plus 1d4. So that's you do 11 base and then roll 1d6 plus 1d4.
1d6.
Yeah. So your baseline damage is 11 right now. Plus you get to roll all your damage to stack on top of that. So 11, 8. So that's what, 17? No, 19. Plus 1 is 20. So, good lord.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, it had 8 hit points left.
Oh!
And might have... It ate that stick of dynamite because it's got some pretty hardy resistance. But even with the resistance, you would have punched the crap out of this thing. So please describe what you'd like to do.
As I kind of stride up to this very hurt-looking troll creature, my fists start to vibrate and glow. I just uppercut, and I want to just knock his head off like a rock'em sock'em bopper robot.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, you
The
like
neck stretches.
And the head just...
Yeah, you move in, you know, do a little bit of like bob and weave. It like puts up a claw like it's about to try to defend itself. You just start under and then you just uppercut this thing. Its head literally cracks off from at the neck. And you can feel like these gloves are great because you just punched something that was like that felt like stone. But they cushioned all the impact, right? So you just kind of, you know, bring your hands out a little bit, but you're fine. And then the head, you know, kind of like the cinematic thing where you see like the body with no head just standing there, you're in front of it, and then the head like just off to the side. You know, the face like, ah!
That was great.
As you take down this troll, the collar is still on the neck part.
Okay.
So
Does
Oh,
the
well,
body
maybe grab that.
collapse?
That could be interesting.
the body slumps slightly and then just like stands there awkwardly.
Okay.
Like a weird statue, right? It's just kind of like doesn't quite fall to its knees. It just stops.
I'm gonna kind of push it with my foot to try and like knock it just enough so that it goes over. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it just like the leg and like part of the upper torso just like shatter as brittle rock, you know, almost like cement chips, just like fall apart.
Before I forget, I would like to motion to the professor that this collar seems like an odd thing to have on potentially a wild troll, but I don't know, it looks like a metal collar to me.
Yeah,
Cecil
I'll
is
wander.
clapping.
Yeah, Gunny's doing the same thing, and she's like, "Holy crap!"
That was impressive.
Kelly's jazzed. Kelly's like shadow boxing, like, "Oh yeah, I feel great." Like,
Now you said you were. Do all amateur boxers fight like this in the States? Is that how?
nah, that's all
Yes.
me.
Yes, they do.
Wow.
Wendy.
Wow. I would definitely take you up on that round of training. That was awesome, and she like high fives you. Like, okay.
Wendy's gonna like bounce over to the professor and be like, "Did you see what I did? I did the thing, and with the thing, and then boom."
Well done. Very well done. How do you feel?
Like I don't want another one of those, but otherwise good.
No, in your mind, how do you feel? Are you centered?
A little less. It like wobbled me for a minute, if that makes sense. Not a huge, but it bends the mind a little bit to think that I kind of told it where to go and then it went there. Yeah. Not, but like, I mean, I'm glad I can do it, I guess.
Yes, no,
We have to.
much like our friend here, you danced on the avalanche. Well done.
Yeah.
What was that you were pointing to, Kelly?
This thing's got a collar on.
Really? Let's see. Oliver
Seems a
will
little
go and
weird.
like pry it off of the thing.
Yeah, you take it off the neck. It's a large collar.
Like a hula hoop.
Yeah, it's sizable, right? Like very easily like a kid could hula hoop with this thing, right? As you go to pick it up, you notice a couple things. One, the outside looks like some sort of just dark metal, unremarkable, right, with a little hinge joint to lock it in. The second thing you see is there's no locking mechanism on the other side. It seems to be two solid pieces that, as you're kind of doing this with it and like messing with it, don't seem to connect. but were very clearly fused solidly on this troll. Also,
is it like a torque where it was just like not closed all the way and like bent around it?
uh, roll and
Magical seal.
roll a cult or Cthulhu, whichever you'd like.
Roll mythos. Okay. That's not gonna do me anything.
Does that get you anything for a cult?
For a cult, sure.
Um,
Well, if I push my luck a little bit,
how much?
like 4 points. Not
Yeah,
bad.
go for it. You kind of study this thing, turn it over in your hands. As you're, I'll give you all this stuff. As you're looking at your teammates and messing with this collar, it shrinks a little bit. And you don't have the tools to measure it, but if you had to guess, you'd say this could easily fit a human neck now, right? As you're holding it. You're noticing the two ends that don't seem to lock. You're starting to get the impression that it fuses when it's actually put on something. The last thing you see is on the inside. There seem to be where is it? Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. You can't have that yet.
That's okay.
Oh no, I was looking at a completely different device that you'll get in a different chapter.
Okay. No, but this thing, I assume it was like a fairly heavy, like a iron bar that weighed like 40 or so pounds, and now it's shrunk down as the mass reduced. Like, does it feel lighter in my hand?
It feels, yeah, a little bit. The other thing is, you get the distinct impression it is currently off.
Okay.
As you're looking at it and you're like rolling around your hands, you're seeing like the little thing, because you see some stuff inscribed on the inside. It looks like it's in the call. To the best of your knowledge, since they're not detailed, you can kind of put them together. It looks like there's basically an off and an on mode, right? And once it's like on something, it is charged on and doing something.
Yeah. Cecil, can you read this?
I might be able to. And he's just like, kind of like, he jogs over and kind of like peers at it. So give it a roll.
Good roll.
I can.
Yeah, mark that
That's
stuff.
very impressive. So he like kind of glances at it. He's like, it doesn't look like it fit around a troll's. How tall was that, Murphy? Good heavens!
You read two things.
No, it's.
You read two things in the call. One is very clearly like printed or laser cut into this collar, right? It just says, where is it? Yeah, it's basically a warning label that basically it says danger.
It says danger.
How do I phrase this?
Like the
Danger,
ship's
do not
computer
remove
from Star
that
Trek.
key.
Okay.
Or do not attempt to remove that key. Right? Then there's a thing scratched in the metal as well. That is just a number. That says 217. 217.
Cecil pales. It says danger. Don't remove without key. And he kind of like looks at it and is like, a little late now. The more concerning part is, this is 1 out of at least 207, if not more. I don't know if this is simply around another 200 plus trolls somewhere in the ground nearby. Or if this is just meant for any species.
Interesting. Well, let's hope it's not trolls. I don't think that 200 would be quite handled the same. That we could handle 200 with quite the same aplomb.
No, this was
Speaking of which, are you hurt? You seem a little scuffed there.
He says, "I'm fine," and blood just spills out of his mouth.
Oh, okay. Come. I was working on Gunny before you interrupted. Let me see if I can help.
Like an anime character.
Now that all the excitement is done, I think I'm going to sit down. And he just sits straight in the dirt.
Oh God.
The dirt, mud, slush. Yeah.
Folklore wins again.
Yeah, Wendy has like slowly started leaning against like the wall on the one side of the road, like also just but not as dramatically.
Is that a successful first aid?
It is not.
It's not? Okay. Gunny will, off to the side with Kelly, say, hey, look, I think we can actually look at like the real messed up truck. She's like, I think we can move this thing and tow it. Just a little distance, right? I mean, worst case, we can come back for it. But if we can get to, let me pull that. And I told you my brother is he lives nearby. He's a fisher. He works Take two. As I'm like trying to both articulate and look at maps. I told you my brother lives nearby in Olasvik, right? The town's like maybe 15 miles from here. As you go back to the map in library mode, you can see Olasvik is in the northern part of the peninsula that you're in. Okay. So she says, I think in that case we can go stop there, get patched up, and then figure out what to do next. Get resupplied, maybe get another truck, right?
Sounds good.
Can you, Kelly, give me a hand with just some of these tow straps as we're kind of just going to move this truck, right?
Yep.
So while Oliver is trying to like patch up Cecil and Wendy, and you've got a lot of stuff to make things more comfortable, but at the end of the day, like they just took a shitload of bludgeoning damage and they need to just relax and heal.
Cecil tries to find a bit of the stone troll and just kind of pockets it.
Okay.
Just like a little bit.
Very cool. Excuse me. So yeah, after about 15 minutes or so, Kelly and Gunny are able to like set up a little tow system. They basically just drag the busted down truck off to enough of the side of the road, scavenge any supplies that you need for food, water, coats, etc. Throw it into the other truck. Get the boulder kind of shoved off the road, so now it's fully clear. I think the two of you and a little bit of work can make that happen with the tow strap, and the road is clear, right? At this time, like you've been sitting out in the elements for about 15 minutes. It's chilly, right? It's raining, it's wet, it's gross. Cecil and Wendy, not only are you muddy and wet, but you're also now hurt and tired, right? And the idea now more than ever of just like stopping somewhere, getting some food and resupply sounds great. Gunny says, okay, I think we can get everyone in the truck. It's going to be real uncomfortable, but we only have to go about 15, maybe 20 miles tops. So like, just hang on. Wendy, do you mind, like, do you want to drive, or someone's got to lay across in the back?
I'll do it.
You or me? Well, actually, I think you go in the passenger seat because you just got.
Yeah, all right.
But we can rock paper scissors for it. You guys speak up. The wind here is just crazy.
You're muted.
Yeah, like just whipping through the
Thank
whole passage. I can't hear a word you're saying.
Wendy's going to say, I can drive, but every time I need to make like a hard right turn, the passenger's gonna have to help.
All right, I got it covered. Yeah. So you all pile in awkwardly to this truck, right? I assume you grab the extra box of dynamite, and you all head.
Yes. This is now my favorite toy.
Head off towards Alasvik, right? What I want is in this journey, because the rest of it is not terribly eventful, right? You're still moving through the terrain. You're still seeing the weather patterns get a little worse. Like I said, you saw a bunch of vehicle tracks on this road that are very fresh. You know, that like Caduceus has been out here. And they had their own relief party. They probably came the same way. There's really only two main roads, north or south, through this area. Right? But tell me something interesting, good, bad, what have you, that happens in like the next 45 minutes to an hour as, you know, Gunny's kind of working her way through the terrain and making sure everyone is safely delivered to this village. Right, this little bumpy truck, everyone's all cramped in. It probably smells like mud and like blood and gunpowder, and like, you know, there's I think coats are stuffed in random places for like comfort, but like it doesn't matter because you just keep hitting these rocks and just bumping every now and then, which really sucks for Wendy and Cecil. Gunny's a pretty good driver, but like there's only so much you can do about just crazy bad terrain. But you know, she says, I think we've got some like snacks and candy bars back there if you want to grab some out of the rations, if that's going to help tide you over. At the very least, it might just take your mind off something. I wish I could play music. That'd be cool. Windshield wipers just kind of going, little troll bobblehead on the dashboard. You know. She like takes it, throws it out the window. I don't like trolls as much anymore. They're less cute.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Is that the first one you've seen?
I've never seen one like that. I've never seen a troll. Like, when I grew up, my family would talk about, like, you know, like Cecil said, folklore. You know, and you blame trolls and gnomes for all sorts of things that happen around. Like, oh, the rock slides are because of the trolls, and like, oh, I can't find my shoes because of the gnomes. Like, haha. But like, it's, you know, no one really takes it seriously. It's just a fun thing. It's part of our, it's part of a fun cultural bit that I think everyone comes to acknowledge. But I've never seen anything like that before, and that really puts a negative twist on it. And I'm really kind of sad because it honestly ruined the magic.
Magic often does that. Ruin the magic. But the good news is, that was not the only one. We'll probably see some more. Maybe they'll be different.
Cecil kind of like looks at the 207 like number on the collar and like in his bag keeps them separated. Oof. So the two pieces.
Well, where did the fire come from? Like, I saw the cool stuff that Wendy did, right? Checking that dynamite was pretty smart, but like, how did you all start a fire that quickly?
Oh, it tends to happen around. He kind of looks at Wendy. It's a curse, unfortunately. Hey, magic does exist. It's true. We have access to... Might as well just clue you in. We have access to a number of interesting things that do interesting things. Because we're not only here to save lives, but we're here to save the world.
Like, nods slowly at that. Looks over at
But he's gonna like adjust her sleeves to make sure they're covering the bracelet right now. Like, Camptown races. And then somebody mentioned music. Like that would be great for driving. Still a little woozy. Woo.
Gunny looks over at Kelly and is like, "Is this? So you're part of the whole world? So you're actually like a superhero? Is that how this? What is that? It's like the boxing thing, like a cover. Is that? I'm not gonna tell anybody. It's cool. Like no one's gonna believe me anyway. You know.
Sadly, I am mortal, but we do get a lot of help from some magical forces, I guess. We've been through a lot of weird things together so far.
Huh. All right. Well,
The good news is we have survived all of this weirdness, and you'll be just fine with us.
Look, if that's how you take care of the weird stuff, like, I think I'm with the right crew. You know, I was hoping the rifle would do more, but I'm kind of starting to see now that, like, maybe I need an upgrade. But
Rifles are usually just fine. This was an odd case. That's what the fire is for. But in general, if it's something you haven't experienced in the normal course of life and it's angry at you, fire's a good bet. Just for future reference. I wouldn't be flinging sticks of dynamite here, hither and yon. That was a lucky break.
Yeah, Wendy, maybe we have a conversation before we do that again.
I'm with Murphy
I
here.
made a choice.
No, it worked.
Sure did.
It was beautiful. I don't mean to denigrate your accomplishment there, but
consequences. We were very lucky.
I mean, Wendy's still got like her shoulder isn't like holding right, and like, yeah, yeah.
Desperate times.
That was.
I didn't want you to have to fight that guy. Punch his face when he was full strength. So, figured if I could stop him either coming down in one piece, that was gonna be a better plan. And
no, and I've miscalculated quite badly in my attempt at upsetting the creature. So I do appreciate the assist. I'll do better in the future. Next time, I'll just pull its head off.
It's so dark.
I actually really like how you all kind of operate, right? Like it's kind of cool to see, just because you're still people with like. It's hard to explain. Like I just saw a lot of really cool stuff, but also we're just in here now, like just talking about. I don't know. Don't ignore me. Ignore me.
It's all right. I understand. And we're not gods. We're not superheroes. We're humans with an enormous, improbable task in front of us. I mean, there's always room for one more. As tight as it is in this vehicle.
She just like smiles and like looks down and says nothing about that and like puts her eyes back on the road. She says that's really nice of you to say. And then she points out the windshield up into the air and she goes, "Look at that. A shooting star." And you see like a streak of just like blue light head over your heads, back towards like the mainland area, right? Heading basically from north to south. Ugh. And she says, "It's, it used to be such a rare occurrence to see one of those, but like now it seems like you can see them almost every night around here."
Indeed.
Oh, yeah. Crispy duck pancakes.
Even through the clouds, like they're still bright as hell through the clouds. It's crazy.
How many times a night, and for how long?
Oh, easily like the last, a week or two. It's been a huge thing. People are really excited about it, because wait, is this one of those weird things?
Might be a weird thing.
So I'm gonna roll natural world to see if I know of any like meteor showers that would be passing through just about now. That's a success. Anything for it?
No, nothing that would match the description that Gunny's provided. Very clearly, not natural or tracked. Right.
Great.
Pot stickers.
Like in the last week or two, it's really been picking up, like little blue and like yellow and different. Not super bright, but they've got like a little bit of color to them as they just kind of streak through the sky, and I thought it was just pretty. But I guess
blue is coming towards and yellow is going away.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Are they all going to the same direction? Has anybody found any of them?
I'm going to give her a roll for this, actually. That's a good question. Oh, wow, she rolled a 3. So, yeah, the blue ones tend to come from like north to south, and the yellow ones tend to go from south to north. And it looks like, I never really put it together, but it looks like they're all kind of. She like reaches over to the glove box and then like realizes that she's like, nah. She puts. It's like, Kelly, there's a map in the glove box. Can you grab that? And she like, as you unfold this thing, you can see, and she's like, look, if you're looking like north to south, south to north, there's that path would go directly over the volcano.
No.
You don't say.
It's crazy, right? Crazy how that shit happens.
Well,
do you think that's,
lotus blossom.
Do you think that's part of the? Like the ground kind of rumbles a bit. So you think it's part of all that?
Without a doubt.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I do want to help. At the very least, if Iceland gets destroyed, I can't do my tourism gig. People aren't going to want to come here. So, but
you say your brother's a fisherman. Would he perhaps own a telescope?
Yeah, I think he's got one. So
Cecil goes, I'm way ahead of you, and he seems like he's like just kind of goes a limp, and I want to see if I can use.
Who needs a telescope? You have astral projection.
Astral projection.
I'm sorry.
From a moving vehicle? You'll never catch back up.
I love this party so much.
I'd love to use clairvoyance.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you want to look at?
Go ahead.
Not hypnotism? No.
I like to hypnotize the shooting stars.
You're coming in a little soft, Andy. I'm so sorry.
Oh, am I? Oh, I'm sorry. I'd like to hypnotize the shooting stars. There we go.
I mean, show me their eyes, and I'll show you what I got. Ooh. So.
Yeah. What would you like to look at with clairvoyance? I realized my audio was down a little bit. Is that helping?
Little.
A little? Okay,
Yeah.
let me turn it up a little bit more. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I got. You know what? Let's see.
Are the lights behind you actually pulsing, or is that just an illusion from when you move around?
Me?
One under regular success.
One under regular success. So they are not pulsing. They can pulse. I designed them. I told them not to.
Okay.
But okay. So, what do you want to view with your clairvoyance? As you just like go limp and just the road is just kind of like bucking to the left and right, and you're just hitting weird terrain.
Like they might hear a crunch of bone here and there.
Professor, if you could just.
It's like Wendy the professor, just like
Just hug him. Just give him.
So I'm gonna try this. Let's see. Mm-hmm.
And we'll.
I don't know if this is gonna work.
We'll take a break. Ooh,
No,
ooh, good effects.
So.
I love it.
So he closes his eyes, and whatever happens to him. Because he only just got under. He just got under what I needed to. I think he's looking for like flashes, impressions. If he could follow where the star is and see where it's landing, that would be lovely. Even though, like, I think we have an idea of where it's actually going.
Do me a favor.
Um,
Roll Nicole.
I think he's looking for impressions or what, like, what's actually happening, like, at the site.
Roll Nicole, please.
Roll
Nicole.
Okay.
You got a budget now. I love it. You look like a force ghost.
Okay. That is 2 over. Yeah, so I failed.
Okay. Do you want to? I will tell you the scenario you're in, and I will let you decide if you want to burn luck. You go limp, and let your mind kind of wander. And immediately you feel like you're going, at an incredible speed. Right? And as you like take a second to focus your mind and the energy that's happening around you, you notice that you're actually standing in a small room with a bunch of buttons and dials and light up different contraptions, right? Contraptions, excuse me. And sitting in front of you are 2 like fully not in disguise, serpent people, right?
Oh, God.
And they're like pressing buttons and like moving levers on this panel. And the crazy thing is as you look, you feel a little disoriented because you can't, like, gravity and stuff isn't as affecting you as much, but you can still see, and your sight line in front of you shows that you are just flying up in the air right now, just like up in the clouds, and slowly approaching this large active volcano with just like volumes of black smoke kind of coming out of the top of it, and these 2 serpent people are just like talking back and forth to each other. So if you'd like to burn the 2 luck, you're welcome to make that a success.
Yes, I will burn those 2 luck.
Cool. Yeah, so you like take a second, orient yourself, and you realize like, okay, this isn't a small room. This is actually some type of plane, right? And you're like in a little glass. There's a glass dome that's protecting you from the elements, and the lights you're looking at are clearly control panels. And it looks a little bit like some of the pieces of the things you found in Bolivia, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you hear one of the snake people just go like, I can't believe they're here. Like, they're gonna mess up the whole thing. Like, we've got everything set, everything under control. Then, like, Caduceus just shows up and decides to do what? Like, they're gonna help the situation. Like, it's gonna be terrible. The other one's like, yeah, I feel that completely. It's gonna be an absolute mess. Like, Shashanel is already mad. Like, the fact that Cthulhu had the gall to show his face here. Well, I mean, no one's actually seen him here. That's just a rumor. Yeah, but even so, if there's someone that like is repping him here, like, they know that Iceland's our territory, and they've shown up, and they've decided to just what? They I don't know. The audacity, the fact that they think they're the right side of this is just such a bullshit thing, right? And the other one's like, yeah, look, at the end of the day, they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do. It's stupid, but we'll get to the Citadel and then like screw those guys. Like, we can just send them into an eternity of like crazy torture and nonsense, and it's gonna be great. Like, I think Shashanel is gonna be very happy with the work we've done, and quite frankly, if Caduceus or Sutherland is stupid enough to try to send anybody in, like, we're just gonna crush them. we'll just take the might of Shathaga and just bring that darkness. And they're like, yeah, darkness! And they high-five each other as they're, like, flying up above. And then, like, the thing you're in stops. Like, just on a dime stops and then begins to lower down in this column of smoke into the volcano. And you get to a point where you're coming down and lining the sides of the mountain are actually like there are panels and electronics, and you basically start to lower down into a hangar. You see multiple of these weird flying devices.
Like in the caldera?
Sorry, in the what?
Caldera, like the inside, the chimney.
Oh, thank you. That's the word. Yes, basically you've gone down about like 10 stories, and then you stop at the bottom of the caldera, and there's like a hangar for multiple of these things. I need you to roll luck.
Of course.
Ooh, good roll. Okay.
Way under my luck.
As you are standing there, this flying machine, lands and then starts to just move around and is like basically on a conveyor belt to go get docked somewhere, right? You hear a voice in the call that you are able to interpret that says, initiating scanning protocols. And you see basically the whole area starts to light up with lasers as it starts to scan this ship that you're in. What do you do?
Cecil is just like taking everything in, seeing the high five and being startled by it, and then just like eases out of the ship and underneath it.
Cool.
As not to get caught in these lights. Yeah.
You peace out. The last thing you hear is extraplanar anomaly detected. Scanning again, and you just bamf out.
Like comes to and spits up some blood, and I have it. Oh yes, so I have to go back. Here we go. Wait a second. There we go. All right, regular. So he's like, I've seen the most frightening thing, and starts explaining everything. He's like, they're not shooting stars. They're like orbs, but they're the snake people are inside of them, and they're speaking to Nakal, and they're going down into the caldera, and they mentioned.
Oh yeah, Gunny, there are snake people.
Oh yes, of course.
Okay.
You're gonna have to spell out the two names or like put it in the chat for me, if you please.
Absolutely. I'll spell them out for you if you like. Shashanel, it's one you've heard before.
Yes.
Sashannal. Shashanel. And Sulithan is Sullithan. Which that one you have not heard before.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Sulithan?
Yeah.
Sulithan. They mentioned Sashanel, and Sulithan. And we've heard Sashanel before, but I'm not sure where. And they praised Sashanel, I believe. And they went down into the caldera. Oh, and they mentioned like they're so angry that Caduceus is here. And they're like, well, once we get control of the Citadel, then we'll just crush them. So they plan on, they're working with Caduceus or something, but they plan on betraying them anyway.
We heard Shashanel in the memo from Goncalves that we had. They were identified as a threat to the plans that Caduceus had. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that's a working together situation.
Correct. Shashanel has been identified as someone who works with the Inner Knight.
Yeah.
Cecil, is there a temple site here?
I would imagine so. He like explains the caldera and like all the stuff there, but he's like, I could look again. Do we have anything from the temple, or do you have anything from the temple?
If you get me into the temple, I think I can use it.
He goes like this. Oliver, you're a smart man, and we respect you. I don't think anybody has the gall or the technical know-how to understand what a crazy device that is and how to use it. Unless you're not lying to me.
I'm not lying to you. I know how to use the temple.
You've been keeping it from us.
Yes.
He goes to cross his arms and just gently puts a hand on top of another hand. But you can tell he's a little angry.
As this is kind of festering, Gunny's just like, all right, yeah, well, hey, we're like, I don't know how to process any of that, but we're very, very close to the village, and I would love to talk this over with some more like some warm soup and maybe a coffee or something. If we could, and as she rounds the bend, and you can see the village a little below you, right? Kind of, slightly down the elevation, the road kind of winding to it. You can see already that something is very wrong. There are like little plumes of black smoke that are coming from some of the houses. There's no movement. Just as like a weird kind of smoldering of potential of fires that seem to have consumed some of these like houses and stores, right? And
Cecil, before we enter into the village, did it seem like the volcano is actually going off on its own, or is that an illusion?
Well, they're going down into the plume of smoke, surrounding the inner part.
One of the things you notice about the actual caldera, the chimney, is about halfway up. There seems to be a ventilation system that is like where all the smoke comes from, because you cleared it at a certain point and the smoke was not at that low level. So there's clearly activity that's being just bypassed and pumped out the top. The hangar is clear.
It looked like those things that spew the smoke out of, just get it out of the kitchen, essentially. There's a ventilation system.
Okay.
Below that, there was no activity.
So it's not a Borneo situation. We won't have to worry about an actual eruption.
I don't believe so, or else they would not be inside of there.
Fantastic.
There were a lot of little globe ships. So, I suppose that's the inner night then.
With that, I think Gunny steps on the gas. To get closer to the village and goes, okay, so we can fix this, right? We can fix this, right? You guys can fix this?
Drive us to your brother, and let's take care of him first, eh?
Okay, yeah, let's do that. And on that note, we'll take a quick 10. Right, or 15, right?
Great.
As you are heading for this very clearly damaged village. So hopefully you're enjoying the show so far. It's nice to be back. I'll throw a Discord link up there, right? If you want to hop into Discord. But we'll be right back in 10. Don't go anywhere. Remember, this is all for Surf Rider. So if you feel the urge to donate, do it. Guest checkout, of course, is our, number one OG who's gonna drive us through the roof on donations. But yeah, otherwise, just follow the channel. Jump the Discord and hang out with us. It's always fun to have you. But we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Bring some soup.
Yeah. Hi.
Ready, Yeti. Hello. We're all just kind of hanging out
Roll
still.
troll.
Roll Troll. Ooh, Super Troll Sunday. So, Della is, of course, hanging out with us because she rocks.
Yep, and my darling husband is giving our adorable child a bath right now because I am too pregnant to kneel next to a bathtub.
No.
The struggle is real.
Struggle is very real.
Okay. So at upcoming Gen Con stuff, I'm already running a 5e game. Because yes. And I'm definitely not gonna workshop it for other people. No, that's definitely not how that works. But I was thinking about running one of the one-page RPGs as well. And being that Honey Heist was fun, I like the ones where you play as a ridiculous animal that also happens to have criminal capabilities because those sound funny to me. So if you are unfamiliar with these, there is a particular writer who made 30 one-page RPGs in 30 days and published them all, and they're insane. So I've got a couple of, I just wanted to gauge interest in the ones that I am most interested in. One of them is Crash Pandas, where you are raccoons in the LA Underground drag racing circuit, where you are all driving a car together. And you don't get as much reaction time because obviously seeing the obstacles, etc., is difficult when you're up to 6 raccoons driving a car. So you roll for things like what the obstacles are and how you react to them before you actually see what's happening. So you might accelerate before you run into a wall, for instance.
Right.
I mean, that's how you go through the wall.
You do if you're, say, the one on the steering wheel and you're yelling to the one that's holding the accelerator pedal. These are the things that happen. My only worry about this one is that I would need basically a camera on a piece of paper where I've drawn the course and then little play cars, which really just means I get to spend money at the 99-cent store. Excuse me, the $1.25 store now, and mess it around on a track that I've already made, which could be fun, but also could be a mess. Understandably, I imagine it will turn into a cat toy pretty quickly. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing you could do with that is just slowly. I love having a map and slowly reveal it with Post-it notes.
Oh yeah. No, it's gonna be revealed as it goes. Yes.
Oh, lovely.
Because they can't see the obstacles before they get there. So Crash Pandas is a thing.
That's quite delightful.
But it is not the only option. So also was looking at Stone the Crows, which is you are a group of corvids trying to steal the crown jewels from the Tower of London, and it's loosely based as though this is a Guy Ritchie movie. And thankfully they do offer an option of what it would look like if it was a female cast, because despite the fact that Guy Ritchie never really casts women for longer than 5 minutes at a time, so the there's a crow and a raven and a rook and a magpie and a jay, and you're trying to steal the crown jewels from the Tower of London that is protected by, amongst other things, regal swans and their ghosts, and the local crows and ravens that live there, and also regular armed beefeater guards.
You had me at ghost swans.
Yeah, right. I gotta be honest. You had me at crow,
corvids, right? Definitely, yeah.
Horrible birds in a Guy Ritchie movie is extremely my shit.
Yes. Also,
ghost?
It's a map that's nice and easy to.
You said ghost swans?
Yes, it's the regalist swans.
I'm in.
And they're ghosts of those that have passed.
Can Joe be a ghost swan?
Please, I want to be a regal ghost swan.
You could be an NPC, yeah.
Great.
I mean, I imagine the magpie's got to have some, like, you know, the reason the magpie is involved in this is because shinies. So yes. So there's one more. No, two more. So one of them is Trashkin, which is the one that I was originally thinking of, where you are all half human, half animal, but animal that eats trash. So like an opossum or a raccoon or a pigeon or a rat or a goat or
myself.
Something else.
Yeah.
There's one more. Yeah. And you have like a particular magical ability, like you can make a ball of filth and launch it instead of fireball, right? Like that's a thing. You can like meld with trash to camouflage yourself, like these pieces. And you are like attempting same thing. You're gonna go on an epic quest to do things like steal like a magic gold coin or a set of false teeth, not like the chappy like little like actual used to be a person's teeth, false teeth. So it's a quest for like a piece of big treasure in a like something like probably evil mansion or a haunted elven forest. And yes, but you are a trashmancer animal.
Trashmancer.
Attempting to do this quest. So that one's a little bit more prep for me, but I think I'm fine with that. And then the last guy is like once again there's a commonality here, which is that you're all like creepy animals. So one of them is that you are a former familiar of a witch that was murdered by a witch hunter. She was wise and beautiful and fed you the world's best cheese. And now you have to get revenge upon the witch hunter that killed her. And if you bring his eyes to her corpse within a week, then she will regenerate. So you could be like a hare or a spider or a toad or a fox or a rat, and you have one spell that the witch has taught you as her familiar. And you need to decide whether or not he's retreated to the village, and you have to try and kill this witch hunter and bring the eyes back to your beloved witch. Yes, which like I like the mechanic for that one, like the what is happening, but as a like plot line, it would require the most like making it more interesting, I think, as a start. So maybe we'll leave out Witch is Dead. Okay, so Stone Crows, Guy Ritchie, Crown Jewels, Corvids, Trashkins on an epic quest, and Crash Pandas, raccoons trying to drive a car all at the same time in underground racing in LA. And
I think probably the most fun, least prep is Crash Pandas, but that's just me. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity to like things go wrong and everybody has fun.
I do like. I like Crash Pandas a lot.
Okay.
Oh, we got pizza.
For first one.
Oh man.
I was kind of leaning towards Stone Crows.
Oh.
One is the map is already made, but if I can find the little cars, like
do both. Just yeet games at the whole.
I mean, to be fair, like a Guy Ritchie movie with the chase in the middle would in fact be completely on brand.
100%. Now, for those of you who are out in the wider audience and are wondering what this conversation is about beyond just running one shots, it's because we're talking about an LFTA Enterprise coming up. The 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th of March.
Yes, because 17th is
called Gen Con, and spelled with a J. So last year our friend Jen had her birthday over that time, and we threw together like a fun little convention, and that was just for friends, just for funsies. And now we've decided to kind of take it, make it a bigger thing on the internet. So like there's stuff on the LFTA Twitter about it. We talk about it on our Discord. There's a bunch of link trees in both those places if you want to get into that and check it out. But this is one of the many one-shots that we're talking about for running over that weekend.
And you can be a participant. Like, if you want to run a game, you got to put it in by the end of the day today. But if you want to play or you want to like watch the panels, you don't have to do any. You just have to sign up.
Yeah.
Join the Discord. Come. That's it.
Click respond to the game. Show up to the game.
Be one of like our terrible nerdy people.
Yeah.
Done.
It'd be easy. Not everything's streamed. Some stuff is. It depends on the GM. But yeah, come hang out. Join the party. If you have cool ideas, like Vicky was saying, like put them in for tonight, or just message one of the admins, like myself, and let us know you have an idea, and that way we can hold a slot for you. If you need like a day or two to come up with some stuff. If this is the first time you're hearing about it, don't want to panic about it at 8 o'clock at night. But you're like, oh, I do have some stuff I want to run, but like, give me a day or two. Okay, yeah, we can talk about it. Just hit us up.
I'll be running something too.
Yeah, which is super exciting.
May I
you can
promo?
judge us on both our player ridiculous and our DM ridiculous.
Get it. Will's gone somewhere. Get it.
Will.
Promo.
You want me to vamp? I can talk about what I'm running.
Yeah, tell me about your stuff.
So I am going to be running a workshop, putting the care into character, and it's I'm going to utilize my nearly 20 years of experience doing improv and acting, mostly improv, and show you how you can play a character. It's not just silly voices. It's a little bit of that, but there's a lot more nuance you can throw into there. If you're just a GM who wants to know how to like improvise characters very quickly, and that's kind of intimidating, or if you just want to put more nuance into a character that you're playing now, there's plenty of stuff, and you can do it all. It's designed so you can sit down and do it, and you don't have to stand up and do silly things. Although we might do that too.
Nice.
So,
that'd be very cool.
On a Saturday.
I say if we have at the end, we can actually go through some Gen Con stuff too, just to give people an idea of what's coming up as well. But yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm excited to see how it comes together. Will, welcome back.
You're muted.
Oh no, we cannot hear you. Yes. Your audio source may have changed. This is a problem that Della had when
this
she
was
sat
inside
down.
information we were given.
Mm-hmm. So, well, while we're sorting that, I'll talk about my Gen Con stuff. No, I'll wait.
Yay.
I'll wait for it. I have.
No.
Okay. I do have to figure out if I'm going to run a panel or not. So, I believe it is literally one of your audio sources your audio input has changed, based on whether or not you unplugged and plugged back in your Yeti. That was the... Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Why is she messing with my microphone, man?
Because she couldn't hear us, and the mic source and the other source, resourced.
Rude.
In Della's defense, she was also muted when she sat down, so I think it is a whatever you're doing to mute the thing, I think is causing a source change.
Yes, I can see how that confused her. I clicked the big red mute button.
Hey, you know what?
Why she would have thought to look there.
She is your wonderful spouse. It is fine.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Beautiful, just the way you are.
So, after watching that
burning
wreckage of a village. So you arrive at this village. As you look around, I'll backtrack it a little bit. Gunny slowly drives up towards this village, right? I think there's a point where you all stop a little bit outside and you're looking and you're just watching, and there's, aside from, like I said, a few smoldering houses, everything else looks okay, but empty. You don't see a single thing moving. And slowly creeps the truck forward until it gets to like the first house, right? And when I say village, like, I actually mean village. In this case, this is a cluster of about 50 houses, right? Kind of along the coast, for about 150 to 200 people, right? It's not a large area, but you can see, like, at the end of this setup of houses, there's like some docking infrastructure and some boats out there where everyone's set up to obviously go out and go fishing off the coast, right? And as you come to town, stop by the first house, she opens the door, she starts looking around, and immediately you can see, like, the shell and bullet casings that are just littered across the ground out here. Like, just there was a firefight. You can see little splashes of red, right, on some of the snow. The craziest thing, as you start to look around, at least on initial glance, you don't see any bodies. And Gunny runs about 3 houses down.
Good, right?
And, like, pulls out a key, opens a door to, like, a small house, and, like, runs inside. And you can hear her just yelling for her brother.
Do we see tracks in snow or anything?
Mm-hmm. So feel free to roll track if you'd like. You can see a lot of disturbances. You can see a lot of footprints. Very clearly a large volume of people or things came through here. What it all means,
I'm gonna follow her.
Okay.
Can I, instead of track, can I, like, get a little bit a ways from, like, the crackling of one of the fires and listen instead? Like, see if I can...
Yeah, roll listen.
Okay, cool.
So, any successes on the tracks?
No.
I'm
picturing Gunhilda, like, opening the door to her brother's house and, like, looking around, like, fighting with the key, and then she opens the door and the back half of the house is just gone.
Yeah. Like, it's absolutely absurd. And you're looking at, like, the prints in the snow, and they're all just meshed together. Like, you can see parts where people look like they were dragged. You can see deep prints, but then, like, other stuff goes over top of it. So it's like, it's hard to make out what exactly happened here other than just a crazy fight. But, like, specifics are hard to
Do we see
kind of determine.
Blood?
There are splashes of blood on parts of the snow, but there's no people.
Okay, and it's like splashes, not like gouts, pools. Like, it's
no, just like someone got cut. There was some blood.
Yeah.
Someone got bonked in the nose. There was some blood. Not like someone was emptied of their entire.
Yes, yes,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, nothing like that.
So, like, I mean, there's nobody here. There, no bodies, and, like, I mean, I can't make heads or tails of what exactly happened. Like, Wendy's just kind of like, but and I couldn't hear anything at all other than the crackling of the stuff that's still smoldering and the crunch of the snow as we've been walking around. But, like, it at least looks like they got taken rather than eliminated.
Sacrifices for a ritual, perhaps.
No. Wendy's gonna, like, look at the professor and then look at Gunny and then look at the professor and look at Gunny, like.
So.
He's also gonna look at Gunny and look back at you and be like, "What?"
No.
So Gunny had run off into that one house. Kelly followed shortly behind, right? As she opened the front door, unlocked it, pushed it in, like, you basically see, like, this is just a small cottage, right? But like Oliver said, the back wall is just missing. Like, it's just been, like, smashed through. There's just rubble as, like, part of the, like, living room and second floor have just, like, fallen down into it, and she like tries to scramble up the stairs, realizes that they're like not structurally sound, and it just like sits down in the living room and like tries to take it all in. And Kelly, you can see like there's a couple family photos up on the wall. It's very clearly like her family. You can see her brother and some older people look like her parents, you know, in the photos. So like she's just like, I just saw him a couple days ago. And then there's movement in the rubble. And
Like big?
like the rubble, like you see like a rock move, and like some of the wooden planks just kind of move, and there's like an odd, you hear like a loud low groan. Doesn't, you know, and she kind of scrambles towards it and starts like grabbing stuff to be like, oh shit, he's under the rubble, and like starts pulling.
Gunny, we sure that's a human noise? Gunny?
What'd you roll? It's not human.
Gunny. Wendy's gonna like scramble up next to her on the rubble, and like every time she like takes a piece off, I'm gonna like try and put it back on. Like
I'll go ahead and just get in between them.
With we're not sure. This is a lot to take in. It's
sweeping arm, just gonna push the both of them backwards, and I'll inspect what's in the rubble.
Yeah, Wendy's gonna like grab Gunny's one arm and like start to be like, we've got water in the truck, and let's just take a minute.
Look, everything that I know about avalanches and cave-ins says it's a matter of time. You have to get in there, you have to help the person as quickly as possible. And time is of the essence.
Oliver, like a cave-in.
We don't know when this happens. It's the same concept. He's buried under rubble.
So Oliver's just gonna focus his mind on whatever's underneath, the rubble of the house, and just lift it up. Like, it's just elevated now.
Okay.
In the room, spinning, hopefully completely disoriented and not about to hurt us.
Yeah, roll power.
Yeah.
This is what I was trying to avoid.
No, I want this thing, like, topsy-turvy, like,
yeah,
puking its guts out if this lasts for more than, like, a minute or so.
We're not supposed to move anybody. Like, his spine could be broken. If it's a good guy.
Mr. Lord Davenport, it's an it's.
We'll keep the spine alive.
That was not a human sound, sir.
Oh, wait, what? I thought we just heard a groan. I'm sorry.
I asked if it sounded human, and our keeper said no.
Nope.
Got it.
Yeah, it's fine. It is immobilized. Or rather, mobilized.
Oh, you rolled an 8. You rolled an 8 for power. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's mobilized creatively.
Yeah,
Mobilized creatively.
You move up some of the rubble. It's a troll. It is an actual like beaten
like a
up
baby.
No, it's a big old like troll that is just under the back half of this house. It very clearly like came through the back or something and like collapsed the house on itself. It's got the same thing of like weird chunks of rock on itself. It's got a couple wooden like beams. Like there's one like just in its side. There's another thing that's like kind of smash it in the head, and there's very clearly like weird purple blood.
But it clearly didn't like lay waste to the village, and then drag people off. Like it probably was scared too and came here.
I mean,
is it wearing a collar?
It is wearing a collar. It definitely has the capability. Like maybe. A good solid like dozen of these trolls could probably lay waste to this whole village if they were motivated. But it just floats up in the air. Here's the other thing. It's floating around. It obviously like it looks confused as hell. Its like eyes are just all like not quite bloodshot, but like have that weird purple veins and like it's in the dark black pupils like lit up. You can have some like that weird purple blood kind of comes off of it, and that the collar just starts like arcing electricity at random times. Like it's just like floating there, and then it gets shocked and it just yells, which is why you think you might have heard that weird groan.
Okay, so we get that. Like, will you behave if we take that off you?
I'm gonna roll sanity for Gunhilder.
We shouldn't take it off. If we don't have the key, we could.
It's fine.
To be honest, like if we try to do that, it might cause whatever those arcs of electricity to hit us.
Gunhilder,
I mean,
Gunhilder
we took
grabs
it off the other one.
Gunny,
Nothing exploded.
Gunny
We
grabs
didn't.
a piece of debris and starts like smacking it in the face, and she's like, "Where's my brother?"
So Andy, what I'm
The
gonna
right
propose, just real quick, is I'm gonna every turn this thing's up, I'm gonna roll power at increasing disadvantage
Okay.
to keep it in the air, and then once I lose a power roll, it's gonna fall.
Cool. I'm into it. Okay. So yeah, it is up right now. I'll let you know when you have to roll next. But yeah, she starts bonking it in the face, like clearly not hitting it hard enough to like.
Gunny! Like, Wendy's not, like, gonna do much to this, like, you know, woman, but she's, like, holding on to one of her arms. Like, we don't...
Just I don't.
Like, does it look like it wants to be where it is? Like...
It's being
Talk
controlled.
faster.
She like throws down a little piece of debris and is like, "Fuck."
Was it... She was holding, like, a piece of wood, though, right?
Yeah, she grabbed
Wood
like
doesn't-
a 2x4 and just started bonking.
Yeah,
it.
like... Can we, like, wedge it in there? Like, it's not gonna conduct the electricity if it's wood.
It doesn't matter. We're not removing the collar. If we remove the collar, there's going to be an explosion. All right? It was written on the inside. Get out the collar.
The
print
other collar,
on
it
the wall.
didn't say
It says,
explode.
"Danger, do not remove
It says
without
do
the
not
key."
remove without key. It
You-
just says do not move without key.
You pull out the
That
collar.
could be danger, do not remove without key. This is a troll. We know that.
It points at the collar when you pull it out. And just goes no, and then like starts freaking out, and then like it gets shocked, and then just starts yelling about that. Oliver, roll power.
Like if it takes it off it, we can at least like it can go. Like the poor thing needs to be either out of its misery or maybe
success
it
good?
will be grateful.
Yeah. So Oliver sort of like settles down a little bit and gets into like kind of a meditative pose, and it's just like, the sooner we resolve this, the happier I'll be.
You can see like a couple beads of
Understood.
sweat kind of come down the side of his face.
Alright.
Like we should take the collar off.
We
I mean, it's a troll.
we
If
do,
it explodes, then
one
then maybe-
person does it. One person does it and does it with protection. If that's going to be you, that's fine, but I'd rather you not do it.
All right, well, like no, Wendy's gonna like march over the car and be like, "There's some rubber gloves in here, right?" Like,
Cecil grabs Gunny and takes her outside.
I just
Gunny,
don't-
this is a dangerous situation.
Like,
troll or otherwise, I know it doesn't want to be
yellow rubber
controlled.
gloves and
okay.
the 2x4.
Go ahead. You can make an attempt to. Let's see. I'll pull this up real quick. I need you, if you want to, disarm this collar. Take it off this thing. To roll. Yes, the one. I need you to roll a extreme electrical repair or mechanical repair check.
Okay. Okay. Mechanical repair would be my preference.
Yeah. As Oliver kind of like holds the troll steady for a second to let you get in there and do your work.
If you bite me, when I will hit you.
Wendy, shut up now.
Okay. Cecil also tries to see if he can pull Kelly outside. Like, in case it's like, I don't know, a 30-foot explosion.
Neither one of those is a...
Cool.
Okay.
You.
I'm gonna roll power again.
Yeah, please.
And yeah.
Describe how you're trying to disarm this collar.
Me?
Yeah.
I have like the rubber gloves that I got from the car. I have the 2x4 that I like stole from Gunny, and I'm just like trying to like lever it.
Cool.
Forward.
Yeah, you're trying to like leverage thing. You can't see where there's like a collapse to kind of put leverage on. You try to mess with it. This thing arcs electricity. You smell like the burning wood, and like you let go, and you're like, okay. It doesn't affect you as badly as it does this troll. When this happens, Oliver like basically like, oh fuck, and the troll just falls to the ground, and it proceeds to stand up in front of you at its like full height. Roll me an opposing strength check, please.
Okay, well, this is how Wendy dies. All right. That wasn't me. That was you.
That was me. These things are very strong.
Yeah.
So describe what you're about to do.
Like, since it's up like on the, if you don't like having that on any more than we like having it on you, you have to cooperate with me. And she's gonna like lift her arms up with the what's it called, the rubber, and like the 2x4 in one hand. Like, I can try and snap it off.
It reaches towards you as you kind of extend your hands, grabs you, picks you up, and throws you out the door. Hey, Kelly.
Catch.
Yeah.
I would like to catch. What do you want me to roll?
Please roll strength.
Okay.
But it's like a very sweet moment where you think for a second, like, oh shit, and it just hurls you. And like, Kelly catches you. It's a little rough, but
that's an excellent.
Yeah, it's just like, oof. Yeah, you both like get caught. You're good. And then the troll turns, looks at Oliver,
I was already battered, so it's like,
roars at you, and then runs out the missing back of the building and just starts like
ungrateful jerk
through the snow. And you can see as it's running off the occasional like spark of electricity, and just hear it screaming as it's like as it's running.
All right. Can I pursue it?
You can.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, is it going back to home? Like, it's outside the yard. That's why the collars. I don't know if shot collars are a thing at this time, but yeah, they.
So
I pursue the troll out the back of the house.
Cool. It takes
exit pursued by a wizard.
You take off. It is like moving through this terrain, like just bounding across the like the rocks and just heading towards the volcanic area. But it's taking off at like a dead sprint with like good solid 8 feet long legs, just jumping over boulders and stuff. It's easy enough to see. It's definitely going to be easy to track because it's making a bit of a mess as it runs. But my point is, eventually you'd have to make the choice to jump back in the truck and follow it. It is a lot faster.
Okay, so I'm not going to be able to follow it on foot.
You can catch up to it on foot. Like, you can follow its trail. If you wanted to pursue it actively, you'd have to jump in the truck just because of the speed it moves.
Okay.
But I mean, you can look at it and be like, yeah, you're not going to be able to miss that trail.
All right. I'll turn around and head back to the house then.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
Damn it.
It runs off towards the volcano.
Okay, Oliver's gonna go back into the house and is just like, damn it all. Why was there so much dithering? I had to hold that. Do you know what those things weigh? My brain feels like a pudding.
Cecil,
like, Wendy's gonna let out like a pained
Not a
cough
word.
and be like, a lot.
Ugh. Right.
Wendy, were you hurt by the electricity?
More by the
Okay. Oh wait.
the projectile
forward.
nature of the, yes, not the electricity.
But do you see the dangerous capability of it?
It's hurting it.
I
Like, that one
understand that, but I don't want that to explode in your face and kill you. There's at least 200 others that are suffering. I get it.
What's
I'm
the matter,
sorry.
Wendy? These are not the first thralls we've come across.
It's clear, like, it's not a thrall so much as a dog on a chain.
Thralls, dogs, whatever.
Look, I have sympathy for it. It doesn't want to be doing it, I'm assuming.
I also was not freeing it from the rocks. That was Gunny. But if we're gonna, yeah.
I'm assuming
I
that
thought it was
it's
my
being
brother.
shocked. Sorry.
Did that sound like your brother, Gunhilder?
Of the two possibilities, whether it was my brother in his collapsed house or if it was a troll in my brother's collapsed house, I just thought it would be my brother. It seemed
No,
make sense.
You're right. God, what a mess. Ugh.
All right.
Well, it left a trail that we can definitely follow. Let's get back in the truck.
Gunny, do you have a favorite photo of your brother?
Oliver just stomps off.
No.
Yeah, I've the one on the wall there.
Great.
And he's like, you mind giving it to me?
She like pulls off the frame and like carefully opens the back and hands it to you. She kind of like looks at it for a second and then hands it to you.
I might be able to find him.
And if there is a
With
gun
this
locker
anyway.
somewhere that we could find here, that it has not been destroyed while we're doing that, might be a good idea to take it with us.
Nods. You gonna roll clairvoyance again?
He's going to find a safe. If we're getting back in the truck, then that might be the wisest thing. And he would just do it there. But are there any like medical supplies around?
There are, so per healing rules, right? There are two types of healing. There's first aid and there's like medical healing, right? So every time you take damage from an encounter, you can have first aid rendered to you, or have someone make an attempt at first aid. If the attempt is successful, cool, you heal a D4 of hit point. If it's not successful, unfortunately, then you need to get a higher care. So now, since you had that one botch, it's great because if you have a bunch of mini fights, you can patch up after each fight. The
Also,
downside
Oliver
is
theoretically patched himself after the last one, right?
he was not successful. So the downside
Okay,
is if you're
never
not
mind.
successful, then the only thing to do is to get higher medical care somewhere.
Or rest.
Or rest. Yeah.
Oops.
So, but it's a pulp mechanic to let you kind of bounce back from fights a little faster sometimes.
Mhm.
But in this case, you need to find. If you wanted to stay here for like a night and relax in a house, you could probably unpack some of the medical supplies that are in the truck and like really heal. Otherwise, you'd have to just carry on.
Yep.
Neutral.
Or
if everybody's going,
or Oliver can
if
do
everybody-
more crazy healing on you.
I do have that.
Cecil shakes his head. He sits down in the truck and he tries to contact Tyrannish.
Okay, very cool. Who's driving, Wendy or Gunny?
I'm driving.
Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Gunny's a little out of it. You're driving. Roll drive check for me, please. Just to see how quickly you're moving across this terrain, because you're going off-road. A couple places to follow this troll. Oh yeah, you're fine. Pretty sure that's an excellent success for you. Or if not, it's pretty close. Yeah, you find some great routes, and you're making excellent time. You don't get stuck on anything. Cecil, as you do some more clairvoyance, where is it? Go ahead and need your roll luck again.
Roll luck. I made it under.
Woo.
Okay, cool. You focus on this picture, right? Of,
I was trying to contact Tyrannish first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
but
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't worry about it. If we do that first, that's also cool. I was just going to see if I can get some extra dimensional help.
Yeah, let's go with Tyranish first. Yeah, you focus for a minute. This one's much easier. I'll save the luck roll for the other thing. That's what it was for. Yeah, you end up in... What does your neutral meeting zone for Tyrannish look like? We saw...
the louder story.
Your meeting zone, right? So we saw what Wendy kind of built. So, like, as you're sitting there and trying to design this place where you're going to have to sit down with Tyrannish, where do you meet her?
That is very easy. It would be the great room of his ancestral home, Castle Davenport.
Castle Davenport.
So there is a walk-in fireplace that like maybe 2 or 3 people could like walk in. There's like inset stone where like you could actually put like I don't know, like a tray or something like that and do cooking in there because that's how big it is. There are many portraits of like past ancestors kind of lining the hall. Further up, there is 2 lit chandeliers as we've actually put electricity in the castle a couple of years ago. And then there is like lots of like green kind of like tapestries on the wall. There's like red carpeting in certain places, stone in others. And there's like a lovely kind of like red polished table with very, very comfortable plush chairs like around the fireplace.
Yeah. You're sitting in one chair. Tyrannish kind of materializes in another. Is sitting rather like elegantly and then kind of shifts and then shifts again in the chair just to be like both feet up, kind of just tail.
He points to the couch.
She like kind of moves over to the couch. Goes, this is a very interesting place. It's familiar to you. Is this home?
This is my home. Welcome. Castle Davenport.
I love the green.
Thank you. He quickly just lets her know the encounter that he had while astrally projecting, and brings up the names Sashanel and Sullivan.
Sullivan. Yeah.
And just explains that whole thing, and he's like, and obviously they're planning on trying to crush. But they're not. The Internet Knight is not happy with Caduceus. But I wanted to let you know about that, and I don't know if you know much about this volcano or what they're planning here. And the other thing I had is just a favor. I don't know if there are other ways to heal oneself aside from crazy rituals.
Wow.
A couple of us are terribly injured.
Well, Sullivan is a name I've heard before in the halls of Caduceus. I believe whoever they are masquerading as someone higher up. It's their serpent name. In the same way, if I were to take on your form, I would not want to look as tyrannish. I would want to be maybe Thai or something simple that the humans could follow. But those are names in the call.
Aye. All right. Likely working with the Inner Knight then.
For Sulathan, I've heard the name in Caduceus.
In Caduceus.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who they are, but I have heard it mentioned when people did not think I was listening.
I see. Thank you.
Now, I've been doing some research as well, and she gestures towards the fireplace, and you realize that this is the first time you've seen her walking around with that scepter since you've left Caduceus. She has it kind of laid across her lap, and she like points it towards the fireplace, and the fire turns into almost like a green. Sorry, not green. A red and orange rendering of the volcano. And she says,
he kind of like is startled. And what have you found out?
There is technology in this volcano that dates back to the Citadel. It is both ancient and futuristic. Built probably thousands of years ago. This is not something that the Inner Knight likely put together. They acquired it from maybe snake persons of the past. And maybe other entities as well.
See.
But it's thermal powered. There is lava down there and it keeps the facility running. Now, what they're doing, my best guess is they're trying to find another large power source to return home. Same thing they tried in New Borneo. This is more controlled. There's a facility here, though.
I see. Whereas the other one was, as they said it, an experiment that was failed.
Mm-hmm. But there's risk here. If you look at the amount of resources that are in the spot, if the experiment fails here, it would be a massive setback for them.
I see.
Borneo seemed to be a calculated loss or risk.
Got it. He just kind of like looks at the design and he says, "So if this one blows up, then they'll be set back quite a bit."
Drastically.
Understood. Thank you so much for your insight,
Now,
Your Majesty.
to answer your last question, you're already on your way. Healing, that is.
Oh.
I wanted to have some time to process it, and your timelines for humans moves a little faster than mine does. Last time we interacted, you seemed different.
Yes, it's the ritual. I feel closer to I'm gonna forget its name. A snake.
Feel closer to Yig.
Yes.
Yes. Medum was obsessed with Yig. And he and his group, to the point where will cause problems. But the thing that they don't tell you, the thing that all snake people have to know, is that you don't have to fall into their dogma and their doctrine of worship. You don't have to worship Yig just simply because you're a snake person.
Am I a snake person? No.
No. But
okay.
you said you have those feelings. There's certainly changes about you. You're not nearly as...
I won't be offended.
You're not nearly as human as you were. I think it is an overall improvement.
Thank you.
In my view, the quickest solution to all of this is not Yig or Shithaga as the Inner Knight has decided upon, but in my view, a combination of both human and snake person features solves all problems moving forward. And you are very much on the right path.
He doesn't know what to say, so he's polite, and he says, "Thank you."
Imagine a world where that wasn't a point of conflict. You wouldn't have the serpent people and the humans fighting, because there'd be nothing to fight about. It'd all be the same.
That does make a lot of sense. I will have to think on that a little bit more. Then,
the more you embrace your serpent side, the faster you will heal. It's a quality that we've adapted over years.
Qualities. I'm sorry.
We've adapted over time.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess it couldn't hurt to experiment. Thank you so much. I'll let you know if anything else develops. But
if you ever,
it's very, very...
If you ever want a boost in that direction, let me know.
He smiles warmly and says, "Of course." Thank you so much, and thank you for joining me here.
Of course.
Let me know if anything else develops. And kind of fades.
She not
into little wisps.
As you go to fade out, roll power.
Don't want to. Sure, I'll do it.
Nice.
Well, that's a 31.
Okay.
And I'm looking at my will. Where's willpower?
Just power.
Oh, just power.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that's quite under.
Cool. You move back. You actually watch Tyrannish leave, though. Excuse me, which is never something you've done before. You never actually observed other people coming to meet in these weird astral areas. You swear that you recognize the background of the area that, as she basically disappears through a small portal, there's a cityscape, and there's a building there that you're just like, what? I've seen that before in literature, in something, and then it just vanishes as she has returned back to where she was.
Curious. He snaps back and he says, "Well, good news and bad news, folks." And then he says, Tyrannish says that she's done some research, and the great thing is that if we destroy the facility under the volcano, there's a lot of resources here. It's very ancient. And it kind of goes into a little bit of what she explained. But if even though it was acquired a long time ago, all of their resources are in one place. So if that place is gone, they're set back quite a bit. The unfortunate thing that I've learned is that Tyrannish wants to make everybody a snake-human hybrid, and that'd just be easier and world peace, la-di-da. So, looks like I'm on my way. But I don't have to worship Yig to be a snake person, I guess.
I'm pleased that this change has ingratiated with you, her with you further.
It
That's
has.
quite advantageous to the team.
It has,
Now,
but
how powerful did you say this site was?
more powerful than the last. Less unstable, very controlled.
Wonderful. We might be able to salvage this thing yet.
Or destroy it, maybe. I don't know what you guys think. He looks nervously around.
Yeah.
Roll.
Salvage for what exactly? I don't want to go to the Citadel. I don't want to go to the Citadel.
It's such a cool place.
No, this is exactly why we need to be here.
Cecil, roll
They're
intelligence.
trying to harness it to go home.
Well, we won't let them have it, of course.
No, maybe nobody should. Maybe
How
it
are
was
we supposed
abandoned
to
for a
prevent that
reason.
if it still exists?
Say that again, lass.
So how are we supposed to prevent them from having it if it still exists? Like, it's the only way to be sure.
Well, if they don't exist.
You got a good point there. Last thing for that, Cecil, roll intelligence, please.
Nuke it from orbit. Nuke it from orbit.
And then Kelly and Wendy, you're about to see something. Oh my God.
I'm fine.
You've probably been there, that building, honestly. Like, you traveled a lot. You're a well-read person. You know about historic sites, so you'd recognize the Taj Mahal when you see it.
Oh my God, she's at the... also, she was at the Taj Mahal. She left?
Or the very least, it was in the background of where she was, so she's... We're in India.
There's nothing in Agra. Like, Okay, sorry. We're good.
So she's in India. But she also mentioned that the Silithan, is somebody in Caduceus in disguise. But why she might be Tyrannish, might go by Ty if she was disguised. This person, I don't know. Do we know anybody named Sul? Sully? Sully? Not sure. But something to keep an eye on.
Do we know Sullivan?
I haven't met one. Wendy and Kelly, since you're in the front seat of the car, as you're heading towards...
Could it be Shekels? No? Maybe not? Because he's still... Do we know a Sullivan? Fuck.
He did say he'd hang out with Caduceus, even though he knew they were evil. But he also said he was going to be your man on the inside and get your info, so who knows?
Yeah. Crap. Do we know a Sullivan?
I can definitively tell you do not know a Sullivan.
Okay.
It seems familiar, though, right? Out of character.
Well, my initial thought was Rose, but obviously Solithan doesn't sound anything like Rose.
And Rose works with Caduceus. I'm sorry, Rose works with the Inner Knight.
Oh, the point of Tyrannish's thing being that she would choose a more human-sounding name is all. It may not be a exact representation of her name, but she wouldn't go around and disguise herself as a human and call herself Tyrannish.
Okay.
That'd be crazy. That's her point.
It's town.
Yeah. Kelly and Wendy, as you're heading towards the volcano, you're following like the very clear trail, and you can actually see in the distance, every now and then, like the little silhouette of this troll, right? Because it's Iceland at times, like has a nice little bit of rolling terrain, so you like come up on a little ridge line over an area, you can just see the troll still running, and eventually it kind of disappears. You see him again. Yeah. But what you also see is you're heading towards the crater is off. You're heading due south. This would be about south east of you. There's a lot of activity off the coast. So you've gone you have about 15 miles or so out of like, this thing is hauling like out of your town area as you're kind of going off road, and like it's weird where you'd be on the map just because you're not using actual infrastructure, but I'll bring out the map. There's no reason to do this the hard way. So it would put you probably close to the midpoint between Olesvik and Froda, right? As you're heading towards the glacier, as you're heading towards the volcano. From Froda, you can see in the distance a lot of activity, right? You can see trucks, you can see
Okay.
boats.
So we're almost at the point of the peninsula. Okay.
Yes. So you're in that nice little like third point of the triangle between those two towards the volcano itself. So if you just keep heading south, you'll be in. Yeah, if you just keep heading south, you'll be at the actual volcano. But you can see there's more activity in that town. So something you note as you're driving, right?
So it's in the town. It's not in the water. Like it's not boats. It's
both. You can see trucks. You can see boats. Like you can see a lot of activity. If you head to guess staging operation for rescue. I mean, you've seen Caduceus set up a couple times. You know it's pretty quick, hectic, but efficient. What do you do?
Okay, well, the troll's running right for it, so I guess we'll find out really quickly if Caduceus is the one with the trolls, or...
So FYI, the troll is running south towards the actual volcano. This is towards the east, right? It's just something you can spot as you come over a ridge.
Okay. We know that Caduceus isn't controlling the trolls. That's the snake people.
Map. Is my audio working?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a little bit of delay between some of those, that's all.
Ah, I see. Could we try and sneak into the Caduceus camp, pose as Icelanders, and get some medical care?
That is an option.
It's true.
That would be nice.
Cecil's like, y'all make some choices, but I can try. I have a little bit left in me. I can try to see if I can find. Gunny, what is your brother's name again?
Her brother's name is.
I wrote it down somewhere.
Oh no. Definitely has a name.
I don't know if we
roll. Move on.
Yeah. So.
His name is Bjorn.
Bjorn works.
Yeah.
I was gonna look up some names, but Bjorn works. Yeah. I call him Bjorn because it's a joke, you know. Inside between he and I.
Because of course.
Like the singer, you know.
Oh yeah.
He's not a very good singer.
I can do that again, but I don't want to take up too much stage time. So.
I would say best move for that is get situated somewhere and then do it, then go again. Just because you have been doing a lot of casting, and that does start to take it out of you, right?
Got it. Cool. But I'd have to be somewhere a little less bumpy. He smiles, coughs up blood.
And Wendy, you're driving.
Here's my plan. Let's go to the Caduceus camp. We'll all pretend to be Icelanders. Don't speak a word of English. So sorry, but we were in a landslide. Can you please help? Get patched up, get to the volcano, and figure out how to throw these bums out of it.
Yeah. Gunny, are you okay being the official English speaker of the group?
I can do that. I can speak Icelandic.
Seeing as you've got a local accent and yeah.
Too easy.
We just tunneled our way out of the debris in the village and okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Wendy's gonna start steering us to the Caduceus camp.
Okay. Very cool. You start moving into the area, and very quickly you recognize all of this procedure. You've seen it before. Like there's an outer perimeter where they're basically not necessarily pulling security, but they're trying to just like control who's coming in so they can direct them where they need to go. There's of course the inner areas all where the doctors, engineers, and humanitarian assistant tend to be. You see the camp layouts are very similar to the one you saw in Bolivia, right? The only addition is now they're bringing in a lot of resources from the sea. So as you come down one of the roads, you are stopped by basically a guard, right? It's a Caduceus personnel wearing like a little rescue windbreaker. You know, it says Caduceus on it, and he says, "Hey." And he says it in Icelandic very poorly. He just kind of stumbles through some stuff and like. Gunny goes, it's okay. I speak some English. He's like, oh, thank you. Look, what's going on? What do you have? How can I help you? She says, we were hurt in a landslide, and just need some assistance. He's okay. Yeah, head this way down the tent. There's another guy in the windbreaker. He'll direct you. And kind of you get this a couple times, and eventually, pretty quickly, end up in.
Thank you.
It's, yeah, of course. End up in a hospital tent.
Yep.
Right. Everyone, if you want to sit here and get patched up, there's a bunch of doctors. Go ahead and roll D4+1 as you're getting seen, right? You're given a hot meal. You're given a change of clothes, right? You're given some medical supplies, and they're saying like, okay, hey. Listen, just everyone's tracking. We have multiple ships staged, so if the seismic activity and on the volcanic activity gets worse, we will evacuate you out to Reykjavik, and then from there we'll fly you to wherever we need to, right? So the roads are getting badly damaged. This is where we're currently at, giving you an update. But yeah, you're sitting in these nice warm hospital beds. You got some blankets. You got some soup. You know, everything's going pretty well.
So that's a D4 plus.
D4+1.
Thank you.
You get kind of patched up and seen. Right. There's a lot of chaos. There are a lot of people who are injured, so you don't get a lot of questions. Because what you don't have are a ton of crazy like gunshot wounds or anything. You just have debris and rubble, which works. I need. Hey, Kelly, you're not that badly hurt. I don't think you took any damage. What are you doing during all this? Gunny's with you.
Pretending to be support, I guess, like helping to carry anyone who's limping or hurt or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, people settled in. The doctors are like, "Oh yeah, we'll take it from here. We got them. Hey, look, there's food over there. If you want to have a place to rest, there are cots in that tent. As soon as they're done, as soon as they're patched up, we'll let them back out."
So, Oliver's going to pass a little piece of something green to Kelly and say in sort of a whisper, "See if you can find somewhere in the command tent to put this."
Oh, someone's using the inventory. Hell yeah.
Okay.
I
just nod.
You, Kelly, go out, kind of walk around. Like I said, it's a little rainy. It's turned into a light mist at this point. There's still that overcast. It's starting to get a little darker. It's cold. There's a couple fires that have been set up as well as like outside, just for people to. Mostly staff have just started then. There's also generators and heated tents. But around this one area, I would like you to roll stealth, please.
Okay. Not very stealthy.
None of us are.
No, this is a very not stealthy group. Actually, I think Wendy might be stealthy.
Oh, Wendy's stealthy, but Wendy was hurt. I figured Kelly could just sort of go do a thing.
Yeah. Cool. you're walking through, and you're looking around, and like, there's a lot going on. There are trucks downloading stuff. You know, there are people trying to get it signed for pals. There are people looking for family members. It's chaotic. You know, it's a couple hundred people in this large area, which is wild when you hear someone go, "Hey, yo, is that Kelly? Brooklyn, is that you? No, Queens, right? It was Queens."
Do I recognize the voice without turning to look at it?
It sounds real familiar.
Who is it?
You turn around.
I don't remember his name, but this was from fucking, was it Borneo?
It's Bolivia.
Bolivia, yeah.
Yeah. You turn around and go, and you recognize Sergio Lorenzi.
There
right?
we go.
Your bro who was like helping make all this, you know, he had like a still going on and was making all sorts of liquor in Bolivia.
Sergio!
Yeah, he's a nurse.
I love Sergio.
He's a nurse that works for Caduceus, and he's just out here for this humanitarian relief effort. And he's like, "Holy shit, dude! Like, oh my god, small world." Are you good?
And I'm just gonna
Oh,
motion up, pull him in close, like to everyone else.
Yeah, everyone else is
I
like,
don't
"Oh,
know.
hey, what's up, man?" Like, yeah, how you been? I haven't seen you in like, it's been like a couple months.
Blowing my shit up. Has anyone noticed?
Now, everyone else that like looks at this interaction, they're like, I guess they know each
Great.
other. Like,
Cool.
but
Like, man, we're trying to. Can you help me with something?
yeah, absolutely. Sure. What are you doing in Iceland? Are you lost? Like, are you Are you back with Caduceus again? Is
real lost,
is that what's
pal.
going on?
Real lost.
Took several wrong.
Well, no, I didn't. You know, you were on the flight out here, so it's crazy. You just maybe you made it the second. Sure. What do you need, man? What's up?
Listen, we're not so tight with Caduceus anymore.
Oh shit. What?
Just some personal stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna leave it really vague.
All right.
But
Why
what you
just
can
say
help me
it at
with
all?
is I need to put this in the command tent. Or I need to put something in the command tent. I'm gonna retcon that.
Could you be sketchier? Oh my god.
I'm not a talker.
Let them have their moment. Even if it's bro, are you lost?
You
Thanks.
gave it to the ding dong. So the ding dong's gonna do the work.
Oh my god. I love it.
I love
You
this
know
group
what?
so much.
I'll be like, no. Can you just show me where the command tent is? I'm a little lost. You're right, I'm lost.
Oh yeah, I got you, dude. Hey, if you settled in, you got like a place, you got a cot or anything, like I can get you. You know, if you need some extra blankets, he opens up his coat. He's like, I got some of the good stuff. If you
Just lined with blankets.
Oh no. Well, no,
The good gear.
I got blankets on.
The chenille.
I got blankets
That's what
on this.
he's talking about. Yeah.
I got blankets on this guy.
Absolutely. This one's Sherpa.
The thread
Yeah.
count is absolutely insane. On this side, I got my flasks, which is what I was trying to point to originally. But like, I got you with both.
Oh my god.
Listen, I don't know how long we're gonna be staying
You know,
here.
I'm running a B&B out of my coat, my blankets, and my bourbon. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Satin pillowcases.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a
Crawl
premium.
inside, have a nap.
Yeah, man. But like, if you're good, is it just you? Is the rest of the party here? The rest of
Nah, everyone's here, but I don't know how long we're gonna be staying here.
All right.
We will be in this area a while, but we between you and me, we got attacked by some creatures. Have you guys had any encounters?
Oh, I'm not even gonna lie. He's like walking you through the area.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. That shit got weird in Borneo. Let me tell you that. Like, as much as I like the climate down there, that's kind of, it's not as great here. But man, things came out of the jungle, and like people got there's like a group of commandos that came out of nowhere at one point, and like they just like secured the whole village. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I decided to go back to New York for a little bit. Stuff with the family was getting weird, so I came back to Caduceus. But gosh, hey, who am I to judge, right?
Yeah, I mean, but no weirdness here in the Great North.
None that I've seen. I mean, the doc seems to be handling everything pretty well. So,
Okay.
yeah, he's got everything all together. It's not, it's not like Dr. What's his name who couldn't remember anything, right?
Yeah, that was weird, huh?
That was crazy. But Dr. Gomez, man, that guy's poor brain was Swiss cheese or something. I don't know, but he knew what he was doing. Anyway, here, this is the tent. Just check in, and like I said, I'll hook you up with the good stuff when you're settled.
The good stuff.
Seriously, it's good to see you, man. It's good. It's good to run into a friendly face.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Oh, tell him not to tell. Tell him not to tell.
That wouldn't go through my head.
Look, real talk though. There's only like 3 people in this organization who even know who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Plus, he. Oh well, yeah. He speaks English. Never mind.
Yeah. So he like gives you gives you a little fist bump and says, hey, I'm in the first medical tent on the right if you want to catch up. So.
All right.
Get back
Good
to
see
it.
you, man.
Yeah, same. And he heads out. You stand in front of the command tent. I'd like you to make a spot hidden, please.
Okay.
I mean, I understand that Wendy was hurt, but we did send the worst person.
3 under.
Nailed it.
This is going great, and I don't see any problem here.
It'll be fine.
If he needs to talk, he has 2 fists to do it for him.
You go to open the tent flap, right?
Yeah.
And in perfect line of sight, you see a man. You used to see him in a suit. He is actually in more outdoorsy clothing at this point, kind of like khakis and a nice jacket, right, to kind of combat the weather. But is like darker skin, that little pencil thin mustache with his hair combed back, right? And you recognize as you kind of go to open the tent flap that Dr. Goncalves is the one running this camp. And you go,
Yeah.
and he's like walking out. He's got a couple aides with him. He's just like, I need to know the status on the volcano. I need to know the status on the shipments. I need to know. Look, you need to give me information. We are running low on time. But he's walking towards the tent, towards the exit as he's having this conversation, and people are like falling over themselves to try to give him some info. He's like, I don't need excuses. I need answers. What do you do?
I'm gonna hold the flap open. So like here's the flaps. I'm on the outside. I'm gonna hold it open, but also kind of like wrap it around myself, and like opening it for him as if another soldier or someone would, to like let him and his enclave out, and try and hide my face a little.
I'm gonna roll spot hidden for him at disadvantage.
Okay, great. Oh god.
Wait a second. It's a little bit more like.
Okay.
Like a.
What is your stealth? I'm just like, what is the score?
Non-existent. It's the base.
Okay. He literally walks out. It's like, we don't have a lot of time. I need answers on the shipment as soon as possible. Gives you like a weird salute, and just keeps walking.
I'm gonna let the shock wear off a little bit, and then go inside.
So inside there's a few other people. There's still like there's a radio operator. There's a couple people who have got maps on tables, right? There's a bunch of ledgers and chalkboards with like numbers on people they're bringing in, shipments, food, available beds, all that stuff is all being kind of tracked. And like, you know, someone with a caduceus windbreaker just like looks at you and goes, hey, this is a restricted area. You're looking for like a hospital tent or like the food tent's one over. I know that I told him it was a bad place to put this because people just keep walking in here thinking this is the chow tent, but like it's over there, man.
I'm gonna do my best impression of speaking a different language. Where are we? What language am I pretending to be speaking?
Icelandic.
Yeah. With my fire red hair, I'm sure that's fine. I'm gonna pretend and kind of gesture and like maybe like a kind of food gesture. Meanwhile, how big is this thing that you gave me?
It's a small statue about like 2
it's not
inches.
big.
Yeah.
It's like a little
statue?
fetish thing that's like this big.
Yeah, it's not big at all.
Yes, there's a little crystal
there
dragon on this desk. I share it with Della.
Is there anything that I could maybe throw this towards in this room that it would get lost in the folds or like a box?
Yeah.
Bro, literally all you had to do was chuck this under a tent flap. You did not have to go in there.
No, this is so much better. No, I mean, there's a lot going on in this tent, right? So there are like boxes of charts. There are supplies.
Is there anything near me?
Let's see.
Like by the doors.
You walk in. There's the radio guy. There's the whiteboards. It's probably gonna be in the records boxes, honestly, that are under the whiteboards. There's like multiple, just multiple large wooden crates of records that have been brought out here for people to like track manifests and shipping supplies and everything.
Okay. I'm gonna do my best to like while I'm miming, like eating. If he's gonna approach me, I'm gonna try and throw it, place it. If I can place it in the flaps of the tent, like I'm gonna do, because he's gonna escort me out, and so I need to get it in here.
This whole scene is just so good. I'm just trying to pull the
You thought this would be easy.
No, this is great. This is so much better than what I had planned. Oh my god. Oh jeez. I'm just trying to pull a character sheet. Sorry. Oh wow. Do me a favor and I'll let you roll one of the two, right?
Okay.
Either it's gonna be a sleight of hand.
Oh god.
Right?
Okay.
Or this is gonna be a fast talk. As you're trying to distract him in some way and or like just drop this thing in a place where he's not gonna notice, right? But yeah, you start talking. He's just like, "Yeah, man, yeah, I got you. Like, you want some food? Like, I'll walk you. It's next door." And like, as you're not getting the note, he's like, "Okay, I get it. Like, you're having a bad day. There's a lot going on. I'll walk you. Can you just follow me that way, okay?" And is trying to help you. What would
This is gonna go so poorly.
what would you like to roll?
Both are bad.
I'm also taking option C if you want to pitch something crazy. Those are the things that make sense to me. His spot hid's not very high.
He was working at the radio, right?
Yeah.
Wondering if I try and put it in his pocket, like his windbreaker. Worse? I'm not trying to metagame.
No, I love it. I love it.
Would that be the same kind of role, or would I be able to like hug him tight and be able to like put it in his pocket?
I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
This is all very doable. And you also have a lot of luck, so like it could all still be doable.
I mean, there's also like, do you have like fast jab or something like that? But you could do it real gentle.
Punch his pockets real quick.
But you move
the
so
shit out of
fast,
his
they don't get in. This is so fun.
These are the ideas I have. I don't.
I love it.
Real gentle.
I
Sleight of hand is bad.
I cannot in good conscience allow for all here. I can't do it.
No, I don't want that. But if I could like strength or dex, like if I could hug him in a way that's distracting so he doesn't feel me putting it in his pocket.
If
It's there.
If you hug him and make it like sincere, I'll give you advantage on fast talk or sleight of hand.
Okay. Yeah.
As he's like trying to point, like he like kind of like puts an arm on his shoulders, like, hey man, we
Fast
gotta.
talk
Yeah,
as you
I'm
imitate
gonna
the Swedish
pull
chef.
him
Yeah, just pull him in. It's like oh, okay,
Give
hey,
like
you're
a fake little like.
you're a big dude. Wow.
Yeah, he's
We'll see if we can get you
probably
some.
much smaller than me.
Just like, oh wow. Okay, we're doing this
Okay.
for a minute then. Gotta just yeah. Hey,
You said advantage.
yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, let's try. We're gonna try for sleight of hand.
You got a 10.
Oh my god, that succeeds.
Oh.
My sleight of hand is 14.
Nice. Mark it. All right.
Amazing.
Wolf. All right.
Hopefully that works for your plan. I have no idea. It's going in his pocket.
Kelly Murphy.
Okay.
You
There it
did
is.
it on hard mode.
Cool.
I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Me too. Oh my god.
You give him this insane hug, and they're like, you're there for a minute. He's like, okay, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. He eventually just kind of like sinks into it. He's like, actually, this is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
You've been working hard.
It's
the oxytocin kicks in.
yeah. And you.
No one's hugged me like this since my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's. Have you talked to Sergio? He's got like a blanket thing that just makes you feel like you're being hugged like this. It's absolutely insane. You managed to slip this little idol into his pocket. He does not notice. And he like says, "Okay, but."
Yeah, I
like,
pat him on the back. And like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Let me show you where the food tent is. And he walks you out and like points to the tent over. You know, it's like that's
Okay.
the one. And he's like, "Have a good one." Just roll out.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go back to the group and try and. Can I see where Dr. Goncalves went?
Go ahead and make another spot hidden. There's a lot going on in this camp.
Yeah.
What a great fucking scene.
I know, that was wonderful. I've got so
No,
many
I don't think
emotions.
Unfortunately it's been lost in the chaos, right? But you know you definitively know he's in the camp, and
Yeah.
that's bad. So
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get back to the group as fast as possible and
cool.
let them know.
Yeah, everyone else is patched up in the medical tent. You know, they've got some food. And Kelly comes bursting in the door, looking real amped.
Stoked.
You know,
You got a hug?
it's basically the four of you, and then like you can see there's another Icelandic family that looks like they were caught in like a landslide or something. They seem fine now, but a lot of them are sleeping. But they're just sharing this tent. There's about 12 cots in here total.
Kelly, how'd it go?
Well, I saw Sergio, who I haven't seen since Bolivia, which is weird. He's here. He's got some great blankets for sale. And I planted your
Sergio, the
idol.
guy that made the booze?
Yeah.
Sergio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Oh,
that's cool. He's here.
that would be a
Okay,
great
well,
thing to
good.
have, especially in a day like this. Yeah.
So I was able to get the idol in, but before I got it's in the pocket of the radio operator. I hope that's fine.
Yeah, that
Dr.
should be okay for a
Goncalves is
bit.
here, so we need to lay low.
Oh, Goncalves? Let's get the hell out of here then.
Yeah, we gotta go. Oh, can't hear you, Joe.
Oh, see, so the meds.
I was speechless. That was Lee. You just saw my jaws working and trying to figure things out. Thank you for your patience. So, but if we leave, we have to leave the coiled watcher here.
It's a surveillance device. That's what it's for.
Don't we need to get it back in order to watch what it's surveilled?
We'll sort that out later. It's in the pocket of the radio operator.
That's a great
Uh-huh.
place to put it.
Righto. So, like slurps up some soup, and he's like, and did you mention that Sergio was here too?
Yeah, she did say that.
Oh,
Yeah, Kelly said it.
wouldn't it be nice to get Sergio on board perhaps have him round us up and get a fresh jeep.
Is he not in this medical tent, or is he in a different medical tent?
So Sergio is in a staff medical tent. This is where people are like treated and given a chance to recover.
Gotcha.
You know exactly what tent it is. He pointed it out to Kelly. Yeah.
I mean, he's so nice. It'd be nice to kind of save him from all this. Maybe inform him. Maybe get a fresh jeep out of him.
Sure.
Unless he doesn't like adventure.
We saved him from this by deactivating the site or gaining control of it.
Also true.
Well,
He seems pretty happy.
Let him have it then. Okay.
Yeah. They also mentioned that they haven't had any trouble with trolls or any kind of weirdness, so
Strange. Well,
probably Caduceus maybe in charge of it and hiding it from their staff. I don't know.
Friends,
something
we've all
tells
had.
me.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Something tells me that you win this time. In the dancing circle of politeness. Something tells me that the trolls have something to do with the path of inner night. That's my gut feeling, but I do have a brother to find. So if we need to get out and into the jeep, I think that might be fine. But I can also do it here.
Can I help? I want to help. However however you're doing it, I want to help.
We're about to go on a strange journey. Think of it like a dream. So just kind of like politely pats like the cot that he's sitting on, and he's like I'm gonna just kind of rest up here, and like he kind of situates himself and puts some pillows in place. It looks like the other teams, his other teammates, and it's like if I fall over, like catch me, and puts the photograph between him and Gunny, and he says, lay your hands on my hands.
Okay.
This might be a moment. It might be a little longer, but.
Yeah. Okay. She does that.
And share with me your fondest memory of your brother. Something that connects you to him.
There was but the dolls aren't as special now. But when I was younger, we couldn't afford to just buy all the troll dolls, so I made one, and it wasn't great. I made it out of like a sock and some stuff that we had around the house. But I couldn't. It kept falling apart, and it was the funniest thing. One night, my brother, I think he snuck into my room, and he must have taken it while I was asleep, but he fixed it overnight. I talked to him about this later, but for the longest time, I was under the impression that it was, kind of like a cute gnome thing, and he let that play for a while. I thought it was a very nice gesture, because kind of kept the magic alive there. But he did good work too. But he never thought it was weird that I really believed in fairy tales. He thought that was very interesting and always wanted to kind of encourage that. So that was why do my hands feel weird?
And he's like and he just kind of starts do you want me to roll power for this?
Good.
You got it. He says, don't worry a bit. I still got under.
Okay.
That's still a regular success. So
cool. I make a call here. I rolled her power is 83, right? So she's able to help out, but she's not able to travel with you.
Okay.
But
what does that get you?
So I was just trying to determine if you were trying to take her with you or not. Like that was the determining factor, right?
Okay.
So she's able to kind of bolster, and you can roll an advantage actually. She's able to bolster
Okay.
your connection with the brother from the story, but she doesn't know how to do any type of. Oh my god,
that is crazy.
Yeah.
So that's a well beyond a critical success.
Very cool. Yeah, she does not have the practiced capabilities to do any type of like astral projection, spirit walking, like clairvoyance stuff that you can do at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Too advanced. You, boom, right? Immediately go from this medical tent to a very crowded, very. This could be rough. Very cramped, dark, low lit room. There's a lot of people being pushed around. There's a lot of confusion, right? You can sense the panic. You can hear people kind of asking like, "What's going on? Where are we? How do we? You know what are we supposed to be doing? Who are we gonna get out of here? I don't understand." And people are like, stop talking to make them angry. It's like, no, yell at them, like, and then it's all just confusing. As you start to make a little more sense of the area and look around a little more, you're realizing you're kind of in like a holding pen, and there's a slip off at the end that leads down into a pit of some type, and you recognize that Gunny's brother is one of the people in this holding pen, kind of like trying to convince. He's like, "Hey, look, if we all just stick together and keep calm, we're gonna get out of here, okay?" And you can see he's got like a very bad bruise on the side of his face, and like he looks like he's kind of moving gingerly, kind of around his like torso area. But he's trying to keep people calm, and they seem to be listening for the most part. And as people are getting calmed down, you hear something that sounds like machined components starting to grind and whirl. And people panic again. And you can hear it all coming from that pit at the end of the slope. I need you to... Oh, you already did roll luck. That's right. For this. You were successful. So you hear once again that voice saying, "Anomaly detected. Scanning for further anomalies."
He kind of like breathes heavy, like I see like him, like his ethereal self doing that and like letting out a sigh like on the cot, and he shoots kind of like out. Maybe. And he what he's doing is he's gonna try to shoot out of wherever he is to get a bird's eye perspective and then just let it fade.
Gotcha.
So
make a
and then like maybe trail back.
Make a power check, please.
Got it.
As you kind of shoot out to get a better perspective of this whole area.
Ooh, that is unfortunately out of my range.
Okay. You shoot up, and what you see is that this one holding cell is part of multiple where there are a bunch of people in them. They lead to a literal a pit system where it looks like people are being thrown in. I'm going to have to ask you for a sanity check after this. Being thrown into the pit. Whatever machinery is happening down there. But at the far end, you see a snake person walk over to what looks like a weird wardrobe, like a closet area almost, right, or a dressing room. And they walk inside, and there's a hose hanging there, and they press the button, and the hose dispenses some sort of weird gelatin it covers them. They wear, and it like slightly solidifies, like it's almost like a tracksuit with a hoodie. And as you look at it, you can see parts of people and plasma in this thing.
Part of what?
People. And like plasma and other stuff that are just being worn. And you can hear this guy go, cozy. Yep. Nice and warm. Ugh. Roll sanity, please.
Of course.
Is that safe?
That is under my sanity.
Okay, you're good. You only take one. You don't take the D12 in here. So
no.
Good on you. But yeah, they're very clearly making some type of thermal coating for the snake people that are here.
Thermal coating.
And then you, the failure of that last power check is you go to bounce back, and you feel something catch you.
No.
Right, like a harpoon through the chest.
Oh God.
And it goes, anomaly identified.
Cecil starts like convulsing and like trying to like rip it off, and like that might be happening in the real world too. So
yeah, I think your actual body just starts seizing in the truck. And what are y'all doing with that? Is Cecil like is probably not, I assume, making like some oh no, like kind of like nightmarish noises before, and then just goes into full seizure mode.
Can I just roll power versus power to see if I can like shut him down remotely?
I'm intrigued by
Or
that.
like some kind of psychic knife to like cut off the connection.
I don't want to do that.
No.
Not that one. No.
I'm good with power v power. Let's do it.
All right.
Is it me versus them?
I'm gonna do Oliver versus the thing. Oh, it's a 10. Good roll.
It's a 10. I'll take the 10.
Yeah. You're probably gonna win that one. So yeah, 100%. Okay.
Yeah, that is an excellent success on power for me.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm just brute forcing it, like whatever magical connection it is. I'm just like trying to push back on it so that it disconnects from Cecil.
Very cool. Cecil, go ahead and roll another sanity check, please.
Of course. Happy to. Still good.
Okay. Take another one as this thing starts like trying to disperse your essence. Like you start feeling your literal like projective stability start to fade and just like dissipate out. And it says, deconstructing anomaly.
Well,
10%. And then there's a
hang tight. Gotcha, buddy.
Secondary anomaly detected, and you're pulled out back into the truck.
But he starts like biting anybody who's touching him a little bit.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Are you okay? What happened?
Oh.
I'm sorry. We're not in the truck. We're in the hospital area.
In the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
No, so Oliver's just gonna be like kind of kneeling on your chest, basically, and just like give you the old, hey, you back? You with us?
I am. Something caught me.
I got you. You're okay. I pushed it back.
Cecil looks just ice pale.
Here, have some soup. Soup.
like tries to sit up, kneeling on him, but he's actually quite strong, so he can like kneels forward and says, "Thank you," and then takes the soup. He's like,
you gotta open the soup, and it reminds you it's too similar.
Oh no!
No. There's no soup.
No soup. No soup for you.
Gunny, I found your brother. He's been very brave. He's been very strong. But the rest of the villagers are there too. There's a lot of people. I think they're in the and like he tries to remember. He's like that's the volcano, right?
That's deep in there. That's like underground.
They're deep underground, and they're being held in cages. There is a pit there, and there's some kind of machinery at the bottom. Your brother is in danger, as is everybody else there. So
okay,
we can't simply explode this volcano. We need to save these people.
How much time do we have? We gotta go.
Yes.
Yes. We must
need
go
to
now.
gain control of the volcano site immediately.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. When do you get to drive? Throws you the keys.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I assume that you all stock up on some rations and some supplies, and
Yeah, you said that they were giving us like changes of clothes, etc. I'm gonna go with like as different a thing as I can put on, color-wise, etc.
Medical supplies.
I feel like we know where the stuff is in a standard setup Caduceus camp, so let's just say we grab the stuff and roll out.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's... Unless you're going for anything crazy, you know where all that stuff is. I would like...
Unless you tell me there's another box of stars kicking around somewhere that I could...
Not in my home.
Not on this Christian Minecraft server.
You know for a fact that there is a restricted access tent, usually one of them on every single Caduceus setup facility that has the weird shit in it. There is a restricted access tent here.
Not worth
Jack
it.
Bauer, no time.
Just letting you know. So, okay, cool. I would like... God, how do I determine? I want to roll a d4. Two, three. I would like the professor to make a luck roll, please. Let's roll. Ooh.
Nope.
No? Okay. Okay, you all walk out of the tent. You have all your stuff. You're heading for like the little parking area, right, where all the vehicles are staged. And you can see very clearly that like Goncalves is out there, right, with his little entourage, and he's basically just yelling at fuel inventory, right? But he's like, if you're looking at the line of cars, like you've parked, and he's just standing in front of the line of cars being like, we'll find out why it was delayed and then get it here. Because if we don't have enough fuel for all these vehicles, there is no evacuation for these people. Like, we can only take so many people by boat. At a certain point, we have to send them further inland via vehicle. Right? We've got the engineer teams. We can make this work. We can get people out of the area. But we need fuel to do it. Figure it out. And then the person, like, runs off. And he turns back. And you can all hear this part of the conversation. One guy's like, why do you actually care so much about this whole thing? Like, you know this whole site's just going to shit anyway. Goncalves like, it's important to keep up images. It's important to believe, for everyone to believe until the very, very end, that we did everything we could here. You never know who's going to survive and who's going to tell a story.
Right, Hamilton. Okay. So, is there like a vehicle that looks like it's say, personal for the command round?
You're going to steal Goncalves' vehicle?
No, I'm going to drain it of fuel.
And set fire to. I'm sorry.
Mean Wendy is back.
It would be a very good distraction.
There is a very clearly labeled truck that is like a Caduceus command vehicle. It's not necessarily like you're used to seeing like the radio apparatus and what's on these things. You recognize like, okay, that's probably something that Goncalves or somebody in charge or something would be traveling in.
Wonderful. Since we've been stocking up, etc., I'm, we're just gonna grab a nice like flathead screwdriver, and as we go past the command vehicle, we're just gonna like stab it real hard into where the fuel tank is.
So you're saying we a lot. There's a lot of joining language there.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of what do you call
Wendy
conspirators here.
is going to walk past the command vehicle and like cough and fake stumble and see if she can puncture the fuel tank.
Okay. Go ahead, everyone. Roll me a.
Doesn't need to be everybody. It can just be me.
Oh, this is just for the scenario and for the camp. Roll me a stealth or a what is the other skill? I think it's disguise actually.
Hidden? Disguise.
Yeah. You have advantage with disguise since you are in very unique clothing to your persons.
What is this, stealth?
Yeah, stealth or disguise.
No.
I burn 3 luck.
Okay, nose 1. Yes, 1.
Ooh, no, that's a fail no matter how I slice it.
Okay.
Oh.
Oliver?
No.
No? Okay.
I got it.
Cool.
I don't sort of see the point in being disguised here.
Oh, I'm saying you can roll one or the other, is my point.
No.
Wendy's
But I
the
mean,
only one doing
why
it.
are we hiding from Goncalves at all?
Good question.
Why don't we just... He's right here. He's alone. Let's just shoot him.
You say that out loud?
So what so picture this, right? I'm picturing literally there is a row of vehicles, right? I'm picturing all of you are on one side of this thing, and there's like a Conex or something nearby that's kind of blocking you from view. So you like look around the corner, you can see him and hear this conversation. And all of you are like, "Okay, what do we do?" You know,
like the Scooby-Doo, like everybody goes around them.
Yeah. And so like the aide ran off. It's just Goncalves right now trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, Oliver says, "Hey, let's shoot him."
You could just F him up. So.
Seems like a bad idea, and I can't tell you why. But it just feels
bad.
like it's not what we're here to do.
I'm definitely still going to drain the fuel from his car. Like, that's still...
We're here to stop Caduceus. He's in charge of the Caduceus operation. We know he would have us killed if given the opportunity. I don't understand.
It's got solid talking points.
I was like, I'm having a hard time telling you no. I like the fuel at least feels like other people have a chance to get away, and then like he has a harder time of, but if the stuff is gonna blow.
Truck's out of gas, boss. We'll get a new truck. There's 10 trucks here. That's not gonna do anything. Let's just shoot him.
He likely has some kind of protection. He likely is just filled to the brim with baubles that might protect him. He might be a snake person or on his way.
We know bullets work on snake people.
We do, but there are so many people here. What if the bullet goes around?
Point of order, he is alone.
I'm sorry, who is this?
Oh, sorry, this is Dr. Goncalves. He's a senior person in the cult that's taken over Caduceus. And they're threatening to essentially enslave the world to a mad god.
And also seems completely fine with sacrificing your brother and other people in order to do it, just as long as the appearances are still there.
Okay, so he's one of the people that's going to try to kill my brother. Okay, I'm on board.
Yeah,
Well, it's
you're a better
night.
shot than I am, Oliver. If you want to go for the kneecaps, that's fine.
Yeah,
but...
sorry, Gunny. I should have given you more context.
No,
We're in a bit of a rush here.
It's good. I'm just trying to pick it up as I go. You know.
I appreciate
the inner knight is trying to kill her brother, but Caduceus has no problem letting everybody die here.
Yeah,
they're keeping up appearances in order to let this
kind of feel like those two things are the same.
Yeah, based on the conversation he just had, he doesn't sound like a good person. So
no, he's not.
Does that hit? That
it does not.
That. Yeah.
I missed.
Cool. What do you do? Rifle?
No, I was just gonna pull a pistol.
Okay.
And like fire sort of for effect. Like,
yeah,
maybe out of deference to Cecil's objections, I'll just kind of aim it in his general direction and half-heartedly attempt to shoot him.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, you pull out a pistol. You like fire off a couple rounds at Goncalves. The first round it hits like one of the trucks, right? Shatters the side mirror. He turns. He whips his head towards you, and he sees you. And his whole a green aura just covers his entire body. And he like lights up and raises slightly off the ground, and his hand goes up as the other two bullets just stop. And he goes, I was wondering when you all would show up.
Excellent.
And let's cut it there.
I love it.
Such a bad idea. Kill
him at some point.
So, magic fight.
Magic fight.
Yeah. So very cool. A good session.
This seems bad.
Just some of the. I love everything that everyone's doing. I'm not even like mad about it. This is very good. Hey, I mean, look. If you take out Goncalves, you're making progress. He's on the cover. He's clearly bad.
Clearly evil.
You know, it's clearly.
And totally fine and easy to kill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So,
yeah.
That seemed. I mean, we hit him. He's dead. Oh wait.
Yeah.
We didn't though.
We didn't though.
Yeah.
We didn't though.
But that's good next session cliffhanger. I'm excited. But yeah, so
hey, it's better than the damn troll.
I was very happy about the troll. I was just sad that there's such a thing as too much suspense, I think. But I understand that like life happens, but that's why I'm not fussy about it. Anyway, thank you everyone for hanging out and watching this crazy adventure. I had an absolutely great time listening to all the insane ideas, so I hope you did as well. As a reminder, this is all for the Surfrider Foundation, right? Everything at LFTA is all about charity, so the stream supports Surfrider. It's a great effort to support. We're pushing our way to $2,000, right? Which is, I think, pretty fantastic. They support legislation for, clean ocean initiatives. They do a lot of hands-on cleanup, and bottom line is they just want to make sure the water that is in the world does not get tainted or polluted to the point where we can't use it, and that's a good move. Also, they keep Cthulhu asleep, so that's important. With that said, I'll put some stuff in the Discord, right, or in the chat about the Discord. Good to go. Big things coming up, right? This whole week is chock full of nonsense. There is... Oh, geez, what's going on? Class reunion on the 1st, right? That's Will's 5th Ed D&D game. And then on the 2nd, we've got Fury Brick Road. So it's myself and Joe with Della, who popped in earlier, right? Then this weekend is Nephilim. So a lot of stuff going on. And then looking into March, Gen Con, right? That long weekend, the 18th to the 20th, I believe I said. I can say any dates I want. They just may not be right. Yeah, 18th to the 20th.
Yes.
Those are some of the games we're talking about doing. If you're interested in that, jump into the Discord, right? There's a ton of information on it. The sign up for the games is starting, I think, next week. If you're interested in doing a last-minute submission, hit up myself or Will or any of the admins, and then we'll figure out how to get you in there. But if you just want to come hang out and play, like, oh, look at that, we have an alert. Good stuff.
Ta-da!
Yeah, that's the Gen Con info. So, anybody else have anything cool you want to talk about? It's cool stuff.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You guys rock.
So,
and let's hear it for Andy for like just GMing on the fly.
Yeah.
And
Putting up
being,
with our
Putting up
dumb
with our
ideas.
crap. Yeah.
saying yes to anything. So
I love it.
No matter how insane.
It makes me very happy to do scenes like that because I get to genuinely just laugh and enjoy whatever the heck is going to happen next. So that's always fun. But yeah, thank you all for being awesome and creative. Thank you all for hanging out. And we'll be back in 2 weeks and we'll continue this Icelandic adventure and we'll see where it goes. Don't go anywhere. We're going to raid somebody. Figure out who in a second. And then with that, yeah, thanks for hanging out. So we'll start the music. We'll start a raid. Have a great night.